Okie dokes, let's check on the time real quick. And we've been streaming for 20 minutes, and at 10:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Let's check on the time real quick. And we've been streaming for 20 minutes.
Sorry about that. Alrighty. On the learning side of life, we are going to be talking about the W pattern. We're going to be learning about the W pattern because if you had watched the last video where we had isolated a pattern, of course it turned out pretty well, and I'll scroll back once we get off the disclaimer. Scroll back and show you how we found it and isolated it, and it worked out pretty well. Let's see if we can replicate it in the current price, in the situation of current price. Right now we've been getting our current prices from Zupcoin, and as you can see in the very beginning of tonight's stream, we use Zupcoin over at Facebook. It's a Facebook Messenger, and you can use your YouTube chat to your advantage by going over to Zupcoin. It's really, really cool stuff, and maybe we'll get the founder on one of the streams. He's a very nice fellow and built a great little product too. Trades at 19,338.68. 19,338.68. So we'll go write that off, and we're going to start the lesson with lots of links. All right, if there's one thing that I do know about YouTube is that I really do feel that unless I created it, it's probably best not to show you the visual, but instead lead you to the water yourself. And then you can follow along, you'll know where to go, and basically all I've done is kind of spring-loaded you and, helped you find the resources to go to learn these important things on your own, and then when we get back together, we can discuss the nuance on each other's charts. That seems to be a pretty good approach. So the W pattern, right? The W pattern. A big W is a double bottom with tall sides. Price often confirms the double bottom and approaches the height of the left side trend start before retracing and forming a handle. Once price completes the handle, the ride resumes. Okay, I'll go ahead and I'll make that quote known, and then I'll tell you who gave you this great advice and then send you over to the link. All right, so oops, it's going to be 229 characters. That's too many characters. Do copy and delete. Let's see if that's going to work. And then do the rest of the quote. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. A successful investment activities allowed this gentleman to retire at the age of 36. He is an internationally known author and trader with 30 years of stock market experience and widely regarded as a leading expert on chart patterns. This person's name is Thomas Bulkowski. And Thomas Bulkowski has had this incredible site that is just enormously deep with links and ideas and pictures and explanations of all of the major patterns, all of them. There's different patterns out there that I'm sure that are hybrids, but you'll want to visit what is called the pattern site, or you would look for Thomas Bulkowski. Thomas Bulkowski. And so even the lesson that we're going to go over right now, he calls Bulkowski's Big W. That's what it's called. There we go. Because I could have put that we were talking about Bulkowski's Big W. He has important results, identification guidelines, trading tips, other examples, and then see also. Important bull market results. Overall performance rank for up-down breakouts is 1 is best and not ranked. Break-even failure for up and down breakouts is 11%, 16%. Average rise decline is 31%, 14%. Throwback pullback rate, 32%, 13%. Percentage meeting price target up or down is 42%, 12%. And then he has his guidelines. Now, I think what I can do is I can make a picture of this and I will toss it over to the Twitter, and then I will make a tweet out of it. And we will make this part of the Nightbot, or the command bot, I should say. Do that. And I think I'll probably have to do that maybe a little bit later, but that's what we'll do. Unless I was to go dark on this one. I don't know if I want to do that yet. Hold on. What should I do? Either make the screen go dark and make the tweet so you guys can have the drawing. Yeah, we'll probably do that. That's what I'll do. It's no better time to do things in real time. So go ahead and go dark for just a moment, guys, and then I will make this tweet, and we'll just continue talking while I'm making the tweet. And that's so that I can bring down my windows, show the desktop, and get myself over to Twitter. And there's the picture, and here we go. And this is for the lesson tonight, Bitcoin Mining, exclusive. Bitcoin Mining. Rob Bolkowski. He calls it the big. Get the site over. Right. Here we go. And done. All right. So now everyone will have it. If you're not over at my Twitter, I'll be copying the link, and I will put it inside of our stream here. And then I'll go back on camera. Hold on just a minute. So this is the link to the Twitter where the pattern, copy of the pattern is. And then let me get back over to the chart. All right. Go. Well, I'm getting a little faster at this, but it's still kind of clumsy. It's always clumsy, you know? All right, there we go. And then I'll read the disclaimer before we really get started, so that at least we have that in canon for anyone that's visiting or revisiting. I have had the disclaimer in the comment section before, and then I've also divided the disclaimer in some way, but there's so many different ways that you can do the disclaimer that I just haven't come to a conclusion as to really what the best one. To me, the best one is the longest one that bores the, kind of the junior person, just bore them to tears, that they would have to listen to a disclaimer and they want to scrub through and then they really don't want to listen. But probably I could do a YouTube video every day with just these warnings. And maybe even if it was just one person that really listened and got the concept behind what these disclaimers are actually saying, then I think that would be a good day. It really would. So I'll move the disclaimer over so at least I can read it, and then we'll put it dark. So today's audio, the fact that I'm on audio, I want you to realize that a lot of my content will be live with no audio. Chart, I'm building up, links. I'm working on other writings. I'm trying to get the cookbook out on social media and that sort of thing. And I love YouTube, and there's no reason why when I'm on YouTube, it seems to be a very efficient place for me to do my work. And so a lot of times we'll be live with no audio. But of course, I'm always monitoring the chat. The stream is to serve as an archive of price action during volatile moves. That's the primary objective, is that I go live when there's activity, enough activity that we can enjoy each other in the chat, and maybe you guys would come onto the panel if you wanted to and chat about what we're seeing. Then you have the XBT1. This is the futures product that's offered for the CBOE. Of course, we will be changing that all over tomorrow, or adding it to our basket of price alerts and that sort of thing. Keeping an eye on the XBT1. And on the chart, you'll notice that the XBT1 high of the opening CBOE was $18,690, yet we're priced in spot at $19,404. That is amazing. That spread is amazing. So we'll see how things work out tomorrow. All very excited to see how it all plays out tomorrow. And so it's no better time for us to get on YouTube than in these last hours of the last era of Bitcoin as we have learned to love it. Here's the disclaimer. Please be advised that all content in the charts shown is meant for entertainment and educational purposes only. Trading the stock, bond, currency, cryptocurrency, commodity, and futures market can be rewarding, but is also risky. Be aware that you can lose money, and in some ways lose more than you have. It can, pardon me, I have to move over my own disclaimer. It can also be profitable, but not without significant risks. You are responsible for your own independent investment transactions. The charts shown are not to serve as an investment advisory service. I highly encourage you to seek professional advice in regard to your own financial decisions. Information you may get from any chart shown and its further discussion in chat rooms or forums may not reflect my opinions at the time. The charts shown and their content is not a solicitation, nor an offer for professional investment advice, nor is it an offer to buy or sell stocks, bonds, currencies, cryptocurrencies, commodities, and or futures. And something that I'll throw in there this weekend is that I do not have any affiliates. When I do have an affiliate, you will be the first ones to know, and that relationship will be made completely public and transparent to you, my viewers. So there we go on that. We will X out of that. The reason that I say that is because we are waiting for YouTube to give me back the green globe. Next out of the disclaimer, and let's talk about Bulkowski. In the Twitter, I've given you his big W identification guidelines. The characteristics would be price trend, shape, reversal patterns, tall sides, left side decline, double bottom, rise between the bottoms, volume, breakout, confirmation. Big W identification guidelines. And there's other things that I can also probably put out on Twitter. But now that you have the link to the pattern site, bigw.html, then you can simply follow along, and maybe you'll catch something that I didn't catch, or maybe we can really kind of crunch down, and so that everyone gets it. Everybody recognizes it, and there's no person that doesn't get what a W pattern is, according to Bulkowski. So in any event, here we are. Let's go back to the 60-minute bar. And you guys can see, actually it's going to be a little too wide for that. But you'll notice that it now looks like a little N, or a little zigzag down here. But I'll do a close-up, zoom in. I hope this works on there we go. And then I'll do it on the 15-minute, because really that's kind of going to be a better view. So hold on, let me get this correct, because we actually built it on the 1 minute, but this is how it resolved itself on a 5-minute bar. So we caught the top, we knew that. This is all on YouTube too, if you guys wanted to go back and kind of verify or put social proof around drawing these patterns and completing them. So we were able to catch this bottom, and then we were able to catch the apex, and then we drew, and I actually, what I'll do is I'll bring this down a little bit further. My thinking was that it might even go into the channel. My thinking was that it would do something like that. But of course it reversed, but it reversed on a candle, which is a very telling candle. It's a Dragonfly Doji right here. So that's the end of the selling. And then of course the pop-up. This is what a W does as it proceeds along. The price did not go above the apex. That's the part that you want to get involved in, is when price goes above the apex. And then there are other things. In fact, Bulkowski talks about the trajectory, how much energy you really want in the trade, so that you know that the trade is responding to the big W. Is it really the big W? Is that the W that you should be involved in? Well, it certainly was, because that W took us from free market of $18,149 to my other free market line at $19,697. So clearly, does it make me a genius or, a gypsy of some sort? No, this is just all about experience and having enough interest in the charts to isolate these patterns. So then price goes along, and then all of a sudden now we see again, and this pattern was drawn earlier today, that it did look like we were going to get yet another W, okay? So right now, of course, we do not have a crossover of the apex, and the right shoulder has that volatility, which may, would it be called like disavow, or what's the word for when it invalidates this pattern? Beautiful W pattern too, which would be crazy if this actually does not explode off of the 1954-19. That would surprise me if it did not do that. But of course, what we have here is a lot of mucky yuck trying to figure out what the trade really wants to do. It's going to mess up that pattern big time. We'll move into the 5-minute. So you guys can see a closer view of that in real time. There you go. So that's why we drew the pattern, and now we're looking. And we can see that that was a false breakout, but it did not go, it went above apex, but there's just not enough energy for it to continue going in. Sellers came in. That makes sense. Buyers tried to come back in. Sellers came back in. Not a lot of, there were some sellers, but not enough to keep it a seller's candle. And then of course it pops up to be a buyer's, 2 little buyer candles right after that. Okie doke. So let's make sure, and we'll keep just reading through Bulkowski. Keep on reading. All right, so his discussion, for example, around price trend, and I'll go ahead and I'll do some cut and paste just on a couple of these things so that we can get some of that out there. So this is the learning part. Remember, we have 2 outreaches. There's Bitcoin moving and Bitcoin learning, and we're in the learning module right now. So price trend, I'm going to take this right from Bulkowski, and the discussion around the price trend goes like this. Let me get it over here and make sure that we're within the 200 characters. And it goes something like this. Can be any direction leading to the pattern. Best performance comes from patterns with price trending upward leading to the pattern. Let's make sure that we all understand that. It needs to do what? It can be any direction leading to the pattern, but the best performance comes from patterns with price trending upward leading in to the pattern. Okay, let's see if we get that. Got it? So here, what do we have here? We have price that's upwards leading in to the beginning of the pattern. So this should be a Bulkowski big W, right? But we're getting all this weird business over here. So very beautiful W pattern. It completed the pattern. We're just not getting price follow through. But we'll move on to the next step. So we know that it's pretty good. Keep doing that. Sorry, guys. That's my desktop. that anybody that wants to help me clean that up, I'm very happy to have them step in. Oh, you know what that does too? I wonder what that does. Did it go dark? Yes, crypto revolution leading into any pattern, right? So if you see enough of these patterns, you get to understand as the pattern, that left shoulder starts to form, your immediate reaction is this going to be, what kind of a pattern is it going to be? That's the sort of thing that you're looking for. So you'll see or hear a lot of jackrabbit traders that they'll say, oh, we're ledging, and then the ledge falls off. And when that ledge falls off, that's when you should be thinking, do we have the leading edge, the left edge of a W? So that's how quickly you go from knowing that the flag or the ledge is not going to be performing for you, and that you get that fall off, and it's telling you straight away that another pattern is, coming to bear. And then let me throw a caveat in here too, by the way. I am not a certified financial planner. I am not a certified financial analyst. I'm not a chart analyst or anything like that. I just probably have more candles of experience on the charts than maybe most people that you would meet. That's all. There's some people that they kind of know that I have seen a billion candles on the charts. I look at a lot of products, I look at a lot of charts, I look at a lot of different ways in which to approach the chart in all time frames. So you get that over time, but I wanted to make sure that if there's anyone that's listening to me that knows more about the W pattern, just come forward. I'm happy to give you the Hangout link, and you just come on, because really this is all about Chart Chat Connect. This is how the original Bitcoin Forum with me started, if you know anything about me. And it was really all to consume us, to look at each other's charts, no guru, that no one knew more than the next person. And, that we really did try and help each other to understand and have more clarification over all the different people that are out there teaching us different things. Challenge each other. Ask more questions. Don't shut anybody out. Follow some great rules. And on the Bukowski, you mean? Oh, you want the link? Okay. All right, let's make sure that you've got a couple things going on. Very cool. Okay, so Crypto Revolution. So check this out. You don't have any subscribers over at YouTube. Make bank with Hashflare Bitcoin mining. This is my journey of how I will turn $105 into bank. Follow me into the world of Bitcoin cloud mining, and I will show you how to do it fast. I will show you 2 ways of making passive income. And you're about, you don't have anything on your about, and you joined YouTube. Gosh, you're youngins. All right. And you're a cool person? You like cool people? And I will send you the link. I would love to have you. I have to grab some earbuds, and then we would be good to go. Do you want to do that? Make sure you have earbuds. You do not have to be on camera. And we are happy to have you come on board, and you would be the first person actually, besides people that I've known in the trade for a very long time, that I'm meeting for the first time, and I would love to do it. Hold on just a moment. Let me get my earbuds on. I'll send you the link, okay? Everybody can kind of see how that's done too. Earbuds, earbuds, earbuds. Oh, they're there. Okay, very cool. And then I think what we'll do is that we will just, have you just be on the stream with me. That's cool. All right. Here we go. And it looks like you've got a little bit of a marketing edge to yourself, huh? Hey Wesley, do you want the link too? You didn't tell me I was live in there. Did you hear me trying to fix my car? No. Why would I hear you fix your car? Where are you live? Anyway. Okay. This is what we can do. Let's figure out how I can send you the link. All right. Do you have a Twitter? Let's make sure you've got a Twitter. This is for Crypto Revolution. Do you have a Twitter? So we're sending out the hot link for the panel. So anybody that wants it, you do have to have a Twitter so I can send it to you, and your DMs need to be open. I'm ready for the link. Hey, Wes, I'll send you the link over to our, where are we? Discord. You don't have Twitter. Okay. Do you have a Telegram or a Discord? Well, I don't do the Facebook. I don't do Facebook, but you don't have a Twitter. That's so interesting to me. Do you have a Telegram or a Discord? Or do you want to join my Discord and then I can put the link in my Discord? Do you want to do that? Discord, yeah. I will put my invite link. Okay, first of all, I've got the, okay, hold on just a moment. Let's see about that. Wes, you might have to sort of kind of help me with this. I don't know exactly. Let me grab my invite link. And if you would like to join, first of all, this is the Chart Chat Connect. This is the main lobby for Chart Chat Connect, but this is the Hangout. And we will do for this evening. And I will put that there. And then I will get the invite for Chart Chat Connect. Invite, invite. There we go. And let's see here. We're almost there. This is my Discord, guys. There you go. And Wes, I think that you're maybe over there. I believe you're in the room, or you're not. You're in your own room. So if you come on over, I'll see you come over, and then you'll grab the link. And make sure you have earbuds on. You do not have to be on camera with me. There you go. And there's Crypto Revolution coming in. He's grabbing the link. And we should see him soon. Yeah. Oh, good. Good. All right. Someone was asking me a question about, let's get back over to the YouTube. That voice invite. That's what you got with that one? Huh. Should have just, because I saw him come in. So he should be able to grab the Hangout link from there. Let me check my Hangout too. So as you come in, Revolution, you'll just take your seat and then I'll hear you because I don't keep the Hangout window open. You'll come in, you'll have your earbuds on. We might have to do a little test on the audio to make sure that you don't have extra tabs open and that you close the first thing that will happen is that you'll have to mute the YouTube video. Oh, there you are. Yeah, so go ahead and mute the YouTube video. Hey, you. How are you?
I don't like typing.
Well, why do you think I started Chart Chat Connect, dude? I thought maybe chat was dead. I was talking about ephemeral chat was dying. You know, voice is everything. So.
Hey, my earbuds. I appreciate what you're doing. My earbuds are messed up right now. But I do have a question for you, and I'm just new to this. I'm a 30-year retired paramedic that I've just got into this.
Okay.
I got a friend that I kind of hang out with that does it quite a bit, and he's the one that really turned me on. And I've been just studying. And you're the first person I've seen that actually works on the charts, other than one other guy. But heck, he's at 3 o'clock in the morning. So any help that I could get, I was, I'm trying to do the very best that I can.
Well, and I can probably like overspeak you. So let's make sure that we actually make this like a good conversation, okay? Because my personality can get pretty mother henish very fast. So what I'll do is there are some trading rules or trader rules that come out in the Nightbot. I'm a very rule-oriented person, and I become very demanding of everyone to abide by certain rules. Now, what you've already told me is that in your former profession, that you know how to save, right? You know how to save lives. And that says a lot about what the experience maybe that you've had in life that can help you. Also that you had to follow certain rules and protocol to succeed and save those lives. So already you've got like a lot of things going for you, because you will never learn more from anyone else. So the number one thing you have to do is keep a journal, just like a health chart would be, like a doctor keeps a health chart. So you have to keep a journal right away. And you don't have to be afraid that you're keeping a trading journal or a paper journal on pairs that you were not interested in. Okay? So you might just be interested in Bitcoin, and maybe someone said, no, Litecoin is dirty or whatever. Don't do that. The thing that you've got to be able to get through right now is marking and documenting as much as you possibly can so that you can pass through that learning curve, which is extremely steep and very expensive. Do not accept guru. In the early days, don't believe in paid services at all, because there are so many things that you have to learn about yourself before someone else can teach you through a paid service. Now, good books, and there are good conferences, and there's some really great traders on YouTube. And I'll share some of those with you tonight that I listen to all the time. But I stopped many, many years ago paying for these relationships, because each trade that we do is a trade that we do on our own. It's a very lonely vocation, serious one, hella fun when you're in the right sort of kind of mindset with other people that are sharing with each other. You can find yourself in a good-spirited, atmosphere. But the truth of it is that, it's all on you. So I can walk you through some things that you might want to think about. And, I'm constantly sharing links and sites and things that people can learn, because you have to discover what kind of floats your boat. So I'll ask you a few questions about that, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure.
Okay. So one of the rules, of course, is that we do not share position size or contract size, so that you know. So we never talk about, like, you'll never, ever hear me ask you, well, how much do you have? Which is usually the formality of men talking to other men, is that they want to know, how much you can swing around, right? Those are things that are private. It's up to you. It has no never mind to me in the trade at all. We want the trade to move from the left side of the chart to the right side of the chart, or to know what direction of the trade is, number one. So when you're approaching any of these instruments, you have to know what the direction of the trade is. So do you kind of have a feel for that at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've traded many years ago, but this is just the first time that I'm doing such a volatile market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so, I mean, it's really Uh, it's just really in terms of, figuring out, cups and so forth. I mean, I can pick out a few things.
Okay, good.
I mean, I'm not oblivious to it, but also, I just want to get a better understanding. Like, you see when wicks go past the candle part, are you counting that in? Obviously, you are on your W there, and I just
okay. Well, let's just start there. So,
okay.
Right, there are schools that will take everything from the close and will not include the wick. And they discount, what I call handcuff plays. So they wouldn't have included like the Silk Road arrest, okay? Whereas someone like me would. I want to know what happened, and the only way that I can tell that is to make sure that I look at the wick. I have to honor the price, no matter what. Now, there are some times where you can say, okay, well, that was a fat finger, or the site was hacked, and you can forgive, but eventually the trade will heal regardless of what we do as humans. We can forgive on the chart, but believe you me, the big wheel, the bots, and the algorithms, they know that it happened, and they know how it happened precisely. So they'll seek to heal it. It'll be acted like a gap. So on the candle question, anybody can hear us. The you want to isolate as much data as you possibly can when you're looking at patterns. So you mentioned about a cup and handle. So like Bulkowski, I don't know who is there a cup and handle like person that you've been going to on the cup and handles?
The guy that does the that 3 o'clock in the morning stuff that just really kills me. And I can't remember which one it is. I'd have to go back and look it up.
Okay, so maybe we can find that out together. But I will give you the cup and handle instruction from Bulkowski, which is who we're talking about tonight. And let me grab our. Do you enjoy this so far?
Oh, absolutely.
That's always good to know. All right. On the I'll put it in our live chat instead of the Hangout chat. It's a little easier for me. So Bulkowski, we're covering his work and his approach to things. And I don't know, maybe in his teaching, he'll talk about draw from the bottom or what have you. But I only look for him and he's pretty precise in the way that he's teaching people. So I kind of like that. But there is his cup and handle. And let's see if we can kind of go through here so that we can define. And I will tell you that the cup and handle for legacy traders, the cup or the base is something that is not in the 1 minute. It can occur, the pattern can occur, and there can even be a follow through with the pattern. But legacy traders look at cup and handles under the base can sometimes be as much as 6 months. Now, of course, we're in a very volatile instrument, and to wait 6 months for a cup and handle to form, that's not the market that we're in.
See, but I believe it was XRP that we looked at last night, or not before last, I can't remember which, but it was a perfect cup and handle.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that the big wheels they're basically trying everything. That's where we're seeing more patterns develop. We're seeing more level lines, more fib lines, more patterns that are coming into the market because they're in the market. So I know it might be a meme for us to say Wall Street is coming. They've been here. They've been here, and they're it's.
When you talk about fib lines, now me being a paramedic, that's not a good thing.
So, yeah, exactly.
So yeah. I mean, when I look at that chart and I see a fib line, I'm reaching for stuff. Okay. So,
yeah, exactly.
That's not a good thing. So a fib line, is that a good thing?
Well, just kind of as a child of the trade, I use the Fibonacci not to be fancy pants. I use it to evaluate the health of the structure. It's called market structure. And it's actually the next dry read I'm going to do on baby pips. I'm going to be doing the entire segment on Fibonacci. And also
that I mean, that's the perfect math right there. I mean, don't get no better than that. I mean,
well, and there's some
Fibonacci.
people that
I do graphics work as well.
yeah.
You know, I'm retired, but I'm also a amputee. I lost my leg 2 years ago, and you know, it's I've been trying to find things to keep me busy, so to speak. But I've learned about Fibonacci and, you know, the perfect pattern and everything. And it's awesome.
It really is. And then when you latch on to any one of these lessons, and, you know, it within about 6 to 8 months, you can find yourself very prolific, you know, and where you're able to look at a chart and go, there we go. And you can actually see the Fibonacci without even drawing it. And that's kind of some of the voodoo that I do is in selecting the proper Fibonacci swing, for example, that just works. And I do this live. I don't look at every swing. I examine the chart best I can and then draw the best swing on that I think looks pretty solid and that might follow through for us. So, I love the Fibonacci. I love the whole idea, and I love the controversy of the Fibonacci because it involves the men of math and philosophy, and it's a pretty neat tool to have on your chart. So I do use it, but only to establish the health of the structure, not to use signal. So for example, you can see that we did consolidation on the last fib at the 2618 line. Now I could have said, okay, we're going to consolidate the 2618, and then from there we're going to take a parabolic move to the 3618, which is exactly what happened. But I'm not someone that's so bold to, kind of swing around what I know to push that out in my channel, because it can be kind of obnoxious. To draw these things, and then sure enough, it works out. So that's why, we just keep talking about it. And, I could be asking you one day, what do you see? Or you could yell out and say, beauty has a cup and handle. Oh my God, we got a cup and handle, people, on the 1 minute, and then I would be right there, I'd be right there on it. Because the charts are so absolutely fascinating, and they tell this incredible story about all of us, about market participants and the machine. And so anyway, so here you are, you're looking for cup and handles, you like the Fibonacci, you're in a volatile instrument, you know that we are, I've been sharing this really cool site called Cap Compare, and it's just unbelievable, really, where we are in the lineup as far as the legacy market. It's just, here we go. There's a link about that. We talked about this earlier today, and he built another one called Unicorns, a tab called Unicorns. But when you're looking at the market cap, where we fall between Facebook and Intel. And so if you've never traded those products at earnings or volatile times in the market, it could be new technology being released or Facebook, being under some sort of scrutiny with other parts of the world, where it's really volatile. I imagine we're right there. We're between Facebook and Intel on market cap, yet we're experiencing this sort of growth and volatility. So it's pretty scary. Like, you really got to know. You should have a Facebook and an Intel chart at the ready for sure.
Well, there we go. That's what I was looking for.
And there is Wes. Wes, raise your voice, my love. See, this is the thing about Hangouts. in the old days, it used to be that everybody would wait and everybody would file in. Hey, love bug. And everybody would file in and it would go from there. But when I'm looking at the live chart, I don't hear you guys coming up. So you're going to talk to us? You're not? Yeah, take yourself off mute. There we go. Hey, you.
Always just enjoy listening to you.
Well, I mean, it goes back and forth, though. I mean, it's not like I invented the voice.
Yeah, well, my insight in the whole matter is so arcane and specialized that I just keep my mouth shut most of the time, just so as not to confuse anybody. I'm here for the money, just like everybody else.
So that motto, make money to do good or follow the money, and the fact that we would all end up here. Wes and I met over at Blab Revolution, and I think when I would have met Wes, I think price was about $780, maybe.
Yep. Yeah.
$780. So I tried to tell you guys. See, this is another thing. It's like nobody gonna believe beauty, right? Nobody. And I have to figure out a way to get out of that, because I really like myself. Wes kind of knows all this about me. I really like myself. And what's nuts is that most people don't like me. They just, it's not, it's crazy. Because we're all in this together. This is one of the most magical, and it's not just about the trade. What's happening here is absolutely magical as crypto revolution. It is revolutionary. It is bringing out every story of every part of the world, every piece of mankind. It's bringing out. It's not, the VCs are just coming into it now. And, I've been knocking on their doors for years. 4 years now. Please take a look. You have to figure out a way to get it involved. And then now, because it's on the cover of Wall Street Journal, it's all like, wasn't that what Beauty was talking about?
And that's the thing, everybody, old school folks, and I'm pretty old school myself, but I have a very open mind, having worked in the field that I've worked in. And, I talked with somebody just the other day, I don't know what your feelings are on BitConnect or anything like that. I mean, but I see things changing people's lives. And he said, oh, that's nothing but a scam, talking about Bitcoin altogether. And then he saw it on the news all this week. And all of a sudden, it's a lot better now.
Yeah, it really is something that people need to have validation through what they perceive as being a guru. And that's why early on, with all of my outreach, I really wanted to make people understand that. I need to put another signal bot in there. I really wanted people to understand that we're the voices here, okay? We're supposed to be teaching each other. I mean, this is the little red schoolhouse. My site used to have the button that said, push the big red button. And that was the idea. You push the big red button and then you come on in, and we would just be, whether sometimes we get along, sometimes we don't get along. But what's happened recently is that, man, if it's not Bitcoin, if it's not the mother lode, it's scam, scum, the SHIT word, all over. And quite frankly, we don't really know yet. We're still building the pyramid, and we're treating each other like slaves. That's not right.
It all goes back to the early days of the internet, Apple computer, because nobody ever thought that he was going to do what he was going to do. So I mean, and Katie Couric on TV saying, "What's the internet?" Well, guess what? World is here.
Yeah, and we have to get out of our own way. Oh, sorry, Wes. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. You have to follow the pack at some point and just go by the numbers. I don't know where to begin with what I've learned in the last few days, just listening to you and a couple other live casts, live streams on YouTube. But like Vergecoin is just like, I just got the tip on that. It's like, here we are at the beginning of something so huge, and just the advantage of realizing what these numbers mean, that's enough of an advantage to be in soon enough to change your life. This is just amazing. And you're right, it's not just magic, it's like alchemy in action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just has every it's almost as though we are going to experience a renaissance. And it is a war of course, and the millennial isn't even really, to even overuse the word millennial isn't right. Some of these people, as you know, right, some of the people that I have been in contact with in Bitcoin are, for the most part, horrible people. They hate my age group. They hate who I am, my life experience. They think that I'm an armchair trader. They think that I don't work for anything, that they have all these ideas, and that only Bitcoin is going to kind of show me up. And it's been like that since $12.50. It's really bad.
This is what happens when they go out and pay $1,000 for a Bitcoin course. If they don't come out of it an expert at the end, well, then they've got nothing. They're psychologically damaged, I think.
Yeah, and as far as like marketing is concerned, and we'll look at, it's gone through. Tai Lopez, one of his right-hand men, came to me on an email and said, "We want to know how to make a coin." This is a marketer extraordinaire. Grant Cardone, I spoke to the guy that placed his first Bitcoin trade. It was $1 million trade, placed it. I let people know in a private forum that this is what was happening, that the church was coming in now. And so you guys better watch out, because these people are serious.
Sports.
And then of course we have Mike Tyson, right, with his ATMs, as we all know. And, there have been these little pet projects coming along, and they really thought that it was for them. They didn't think that it was for everybody else. And today we found out about the couple that bought some Litecoin, and then they put their money towards cancer research. There's a lot of people that have big visions for what they want to do. So,
how many of these ICOs are a nonprofit, like percentage-wise?
Well, I mean, not for profit.
Yeah, not for. Well, yeah.
Yeah, not for profit. I have no idea.
I wonder if it's half of them or.
So many of them just aren't released yet. And let's talk about this BitConnect, if you want to. Revolution.
Certainly.
Yeah. Let's talk about this and what the lending companies plan on doing because there's more of them, right? And I think the CoinScoop guys, they've decided that they sort of kind of don't want to talk about the lenders coming out anymore. But why don't we just, for the record, because of the broadcast and everything, why don't we kind of dispel a few things? Number one, I do see the marketing. Number two, I do not think that Trayvon was hacked. So I do, in full disclaimer, I do need to get that out there. And only because I was involved in the Bitfinex hack. So I know what a hack is and does and how it rocks the world. And there's no way that Trayvon was hacked for 111 Bitcoins. And you walk away with that laughing and saying that you can get it back. So I just want to kind of throw that out there on kind of a personal observation. I don't know what's going on, that you can represent a company and then behave in that manner. So that part to me is a little disturbing, but I'm not disturbed so much by this lending scheme that they've got going on. So giving you over to the mic and not having any judgment about that, tell us about BitConnect.
Well, it's only what I've learned over the course of the last several days. I've got a spreadsheet, and to me, it seems like the math don't lie. I mean, and there's people that have their thoughts about it, but here's my thing about it. My thing is if you going to get 1% every day, and I've got some pretty influential friends that's already tried this and has got back money off of it. You know, they dumped $10,000 as a test, and $10,000 is nothing to these people. And they got their money back. I got a phone call tonight saying, hey, man, I need to go ahead and do this again. So, I mean, you know, each side has an argument. I would be skeptical about it, but then again, hey, if it's paying me 1% and changing so many people's lives, I'm good with it.
Well, there's plenty of room for middlemen. I wouldn't dispute that.
Because let's just take a look at the $10,000. If you had taken the $10,000 trade off of my signal and what you would have received. Do you want to do that just as an exercise?
Okay, let me pull up my spreadsheet here.
Okay.
And you say you got a side as well? I mean...
Well, no, I mean, no, a signal. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
okay.
I've got, we'll take a look at the 30-minute chart. And Wes, of course, we follow Ruby, okay? And this is of my work. This is my code, my work. And so when you see these charts, you're looking at something that I built that is not for sale. She is on GitHub. She is free. She follows the rules of open source. So just so that you know, from the cross, and we're not going to get into too many details as to how you take the cross and so forth and so on. But if you had taken the cross, which occurred at 0000 hours on the 15th, it was a day ago, at 0000 hours, you would have earned 16.64% on the free market. And you're going to notice that there's a little yellow hash line up here. And that is when we did a rebalance. I don't talk about those at all. But I have a couple of big sticks that are watching the channel more. And so I wanted to share that we did do some rebalancing up there, and there's a little yellow line. So, of course, the trade has come off since then, right? But just, in fact, we'll take it to where the trade is right now. They've been with me since the cross. 14.33% since the cross. But then we'll do the better one, which is that, well, you don't believe in the cross, you don't know what a cross is, EMAs fail you, but we'll take Bulkowski's W pattern, which was right here. And we'll take it from, now, the reason that I'm demonstrating this is that if you know how to trade, then you may not be, so the part that BitConnect has that you mentioned was you're helping other people, right? And I want you to talk about this because what I do with my trade is my own business. It's not everybody's business at all, right? It's my business. Here we go. And
well, it's not really helping people. I'm just putting the word out there. I'm not telling nobody, hey, you got to do this or you got to do that. You're exactly right, because I don't want nobody knowing about my trading life. Mm-hmm. I'm showing you what is being put out there. And, hey, if it's for you, go for it. If it ain't for you, then, I pass my buck, because I'm a big firm believer. Karma will get you. And, and my first warning to anybody getting into this business, do not risk more than you can lose.
You put it in the disclaimer, but they don't mention it. They don't have deep disclaimers, although now they're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. And let's remain open about this, because this is really about a lending platform. And there are more ICOs that are out there, and which is why the CoinScoop guys really need to keep going on discovering these lending platforms, because BitConnect wasn't the first one to give this a try, and it certainly won't be the last to give it a try. and it won't be
USI is
over.
another one. USI Tech, I believe it's called.
Well, yeah, let's look into, let's kind of get together a list, because if they're not going to talk about it, I'm happy to talk about it. You know, I find that sense of community, which is something very difficult to get in the space, and if the people at BitConnect are getting sense of community and helpfulness and sharing and helping each other, and that's what they're getting out of it, I don't really care if people, their perception is that it's a cult or, you know, anything like that, because Blab was, you know, Blab was a cult, right, Wes? In a way.
It was a niche, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's trying to find a place where they can be loved and be heard. And if they get that from BitConnect, who am I? But
I didn't know about them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've been poor all my daggone life. If this changes my life, then so be it. But I'm not going to risk more than I can lose, because I'm not wired that way. So, I mean, you know, you got to put everything in perspective. Now, I've heard people taking out loans, refinancing your house, but I also seen a link the other day where a couple paid off their house in just 6 short months, and I'm talking $90-something thousand.
Yeah. And we basically know too, unless it's not, if it's not pegged to Bitcoin, which I don't know, I really, truly, all I know are the personalities of BitConnect. And I also know when their site went down for improvements that everybody went haywire, right? They thought, that's it. That's their exit plan. They're going to take our money and they're going to run. But I don't even know what BitConnect is pegged to. But we're looking for a $25,000 to $32,000 Bitcoin. That's what I believe that the CME needs over the next 6 months for the CME futures product to survive, and also offer up mini products. And so
28 to
I believe 25 to 32 is where we need to see a base. Yeah. For the CME to actually survive. Yeah. I mean, the CBOE's high was 18,690. And now we have an unpegging of where spot is right now, 19,299, well above the highest CBOE price. So, and CBOE took us from, I'd have to go back. What was our highest print? Well, first of all, I did a crying video at 5,000. I did a reminder video at 10,000. So it was somewhere around between 9 and 10 that took us to 18,690 for CBOE. So they were able to move the market, whatever the number was, 3,000 in that one morning.
So is now the time to take advantage of the negative sentiment on BitConnect then and just get in?
Like I heard
Well, like you're saying that they crashed once and that there's some bad press over that. So is that still lingering over their head or what?
When it crashed.
Yeah,
It
just like
really
any other
didn't crash.
Well, they went offline. Did they not go offline and then kind of miscommunicate all of that? And then Trayvon and Craig and another guy, Rich, I think his name is Rich, they really didn't handle the going dark part.
They didn't trust one another.
Yeah, they didn't trust each other or something. I mean, you tell us, Revolution.
I don't trust a dealer dealing me cards at the poker table.
I know. Let's not use analogies, though, if you don't mind. Let's figure out what happened to BitConnect during their takedown, because their site went down for like 3 days, something like that. Because I want to remind you, Bitfinex had this problem too. The Bitfinex site has been down several times, actually, which causes a lot of fear and uncertainty. The thing is that they've got a PR machine too that resurrects, and they've got some very smart people. And of course, Bitfinex has an incredible marketing team that's working for them, pretty hard.
Well, things can happen. I mean, I wasn't around when their site crashed, so I really couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's
where I'm at. But that.
So tell us how you found out about it. Tell us your BitConnect like story.
I watched YouTube.
Okay, so you're gonna blame it on YouTube?
DTube, he said.
Oh, on DTube. Okay, so what's DTube?
No, YouTube. I was right. He was. It's YouTube. Well, we're watching right now.
Wes is trying to get everybody to watch DTube. Okay, go on, Revolution.
And y'all can call me Bob. I mean, I just put that name.
We're not going to remember that. We want you to build your YouTube channel and talk about this darn BitConnect, because that's the way you're going to grow your BitConnect.
Well, I'm really excited about trying to do that, but I also got, mining aspects of it as well. I was just watching YouTube and somebody told me to go and check out the site. Well, when I clicked the link, I was already hooked at that point with somebody that referred me. So, I mean, but I read through the site, and then, I always do the scam scheme, everything, I do my work. And, but I've seen some math that just blows everybody else out the water. I mean, I've seen the math. I mean, it's not made up. So, and math ain't going to lie. Am I correct on that?
Well, it depends on who's running the ledger.
Well, I mean, that's an analogy too, but I mean, real numbers and real charts, they're not gonna lie.
Okay, so let's talk about
cook up something that you're looking at.
What
I mean,
now?
it's impossible. You can't cook up nothing that you're looking at that's already cooked.
Okay, so hold on just a moment. Okay. Wes is gonna go. He's gonna have a cigarette. He's having a cigarette break, which is against the rules.
I'm smoking.
We have rules here, Wes. Revolution, tell him smoking's bad for him.
That's all right. I'm gonna join him.
Wes is gonna have a swig of whiskey and a cigar with all of his BitConnect.
That's what I'm doing too, Wes. I ain't mad at you. I'm a
Cigarettes are so 90s.
Oh my God, you guys. All right. I guess we're into late night. Oh, it is midnight. So, okay. Smoking is allowed on Beauty's YouTube channel as long as it's after midnight. Because all the children should be in bed right now.
and Miss Beauty, do you mind me asking how old you are?
61.
61. See, I'm not too far behind you, so.
Yeah. You can ask certain things. You can ask.
I piled on another $50 worth of ether today.
Oh yeah, we got to look at the ether. Definitely need to do that. Okay. We'll look at the ether as soon as I make sure that my chart went dark, which is kind of odd. So let's go to the ether. Ether USD or BS or BTC?
Well, we're Canadian.
So you want to look at the ether CAD dollar?
Robert,
or you want to look at the ether?
I'll have you know
right?
that Mom is all over BitConnect.
I'm sorry?
I'll have you know that Mom is all over BitConnect.
Well, I mean, I don't look. It might not be for some people. I'll just say that. For me, it's for me. I've got money in it, and it's working right now. But like I said in the beginning, I'm not going to risk more than I can afford to lose.
Okay, so in terms of principle, why BitConnect? Is it the guaranteed return? Simple as that, or do they do something socially, or what's going on?
It's a straight up return.
Yeah.
My friend got paid yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday. He got paid after 120 days. He's already been paid. So,
But
I mean,
getting $120, and I'll just use the word contract because I'm not too sure. Because you buy into a lending, and I use the word scheme. Don't misunderstand me because it really means schema. But you buy into a lending term. Is that the proper word?
yeah,
A lending cycle or a lending term?
A fixed term, yeah.
A fixed term. Okay. Now, Revolution, how did your friend get less than this 388-day term? I thought that you had to
$10,010 up to $100,000 you get back in 120 days.
120 days. Okay. So I see. So it's 10,000 plus $10 up to 100,000. Okay, got
And
it.
100,000 is the maximum limit that you can do.
Okay. So then what happens? You send them Bitcoin?
No, they send you BCC. You cash that out for Bitcoin.
Oh no, let's start from the beginning. When you're very first getting started, what form of payment do they receive? You said $10,000 plus $10.
Well,
That's telling me that they went.
You can start out with 100. You ain't got to go big.
I know, but it starts out with
It starts out, you got to
$100.
send them ever how much denomination that you want to do.
I know, but I want you to answer this question because it really has something to do with redemption. Okay. 100. Let's just say that you start with $10. That's 10 US dollars. And what you get back in return is BitConnect. Is that right?
Yes.
You're buying BCC, which you can cash out in Bitcoin after your term.
Right.
Yes, but your initial $10, we'll just use $10 as the example. Your initial $10 is US dollars.
Right.
That's just, okay. Well,
So let's talk about that part.
that's just a connection fee, isn't it? And an account fee?
Right.
No, not the $10. We're just using, okay, I'll say $10,010. You pay that in US dollars. And then in 120 days, they will cash you out if you so desire in BitConnect. Do I have that right? Okay. Huh. So they use the US dollars, and we don't really know. Are you on chain with that? Like, did they give you, do you own BitConnect at that time, or you only own BitConnect at redemption?
You own BitConnect at that time.
And it's on the ledger, like you can actually
correct.
see the BitConnect?
Well, no, I mean, it's not on the ledger at that point. I mean, you can't see it. You got your principal in there. If that's what you're talking about, yes. So I guess you could see it.
Okay. You should have used a pinprick and we could have gotten a circle on you, Wes. Wes, tell Revolution, and I'll never call you Bob, by the way. Tell Revolution what you do. What makes you tick?
I gotta go. How's my audio?
Fine.
That's my built-in mic. Sorry about that. Or is it actually coming through my USB mic? No.
We don't know. We want to hear what makes you tick.
I'm a hamster herder.
Okay. So
moving up to snakes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Or your mic isn't working right now. You might get booted in just a moment. Let's continue the conversation about BitConnect. All right.
Oh, full disclosure, I'm broke as a joke. I've got about 200. Oh, I'm not supposed to say. I'm in a small position on the market in a small spread.
And there's nothing absolutely wrong with that.
Not a thing.
Broke too.
A little research can go a long way these days, so I'm hopeful. Yeah, thanks.
And I've spent many sleepless nights the last 2 weeks worrying about all this, but every night that I think about it, it just excites me. It's like going to the casino.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob, username I can't see right now.
Revolution.
Crypto Revolution?
Yep.
I tell you, Rev, I've been on a path for a long time here. And Beeb's right. I do have an angle that I'm not particularly ready to disclose just yet. But as we become friends, you'll see this thing kind of come out. So should be fun.
Well, I can tell you what I'm going to do if I do make it big in BitConnect. I'm going to start a some kind of group home or whatever to help people get off this addiction with opiates.
I can help you.
And I know on personal hand experience, my wife is an addict. She's been clean for 365 days today. So that is my tip. There's a lot going on in this world. And look, folks, I'm not tooting my horn or anything. And she's a registered nurse on top of that. And she's lost her license. We're going to get them back. She's got 2 felony charges against her that she's working through. It's crazy, and I've witnessed this firsthand. But I'm not, like I said, not tooting my own horn. There's a lot of people out in this world. Let me preach a little bit, if y'all don't mind.
Okay, let me do something that would be that would be socially and pertinent. And let me draw my Fibonacci here, and then you have my full attention, okay? But okay. I had the right as you were talking about your wife, I had just grabbed my tool, and I don't want to be so socially silly.
Happy birthday to both of you. That's really wonderful.
Okay, so let's
thank you.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Like I said, not tooting my own horn or anything, but I've witnessed this epidemic firsthand, folks. I've been out there on the front line. 3 years ago, and I won't mention nothing, but an 18-month-old baby died because its mother was so strung out, rolled over on him, and killed him. And that drew the line for me. That drew the freaking line for me. There's a lot of people out there in the world right now that's saying these people are POSs. That's not the case. There's nobody to blame here except for the pharmaceutical companies. But I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen. But here's the number one thing. Education can go a long ways. There's a lot going on right now that we can't get these people no help because people are too
ignorant
over themselves on making money. You can go to the state of West Virginia where I worked at that time. I live in North Carolina. I take care of my mother. My wife lives up in West Virginia. And I take care of my mother who has I'm an amputee, but up in West Virginia, I carried a bottle of Narcan every single day, a big bottle, not a small bottle, a big bottle. And in a 36-hour shift, I'd go through a bottle a day. Boom, 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 boom. Do you know how many shots of Narcan is in one bottle? Take a wild guess.
180?
Not that many. It's like 24. So you're talking what, 70 people, 72, something like that. 72 people getting a shot. Boom. I mean, it's crazy, and I want to do something about it, but I can't go at it alone, and it takes money, unfortunately, in this world, and that's what I want to do.
I'll buy into your ICO.
Hey, there you go. We can just work together and conquer it together. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I beat alcohol about 3.5 years ago, and a lot of other things went out the door along with it. Yeah, glad to be here.
You look good. God bless you. You look good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been a wait.
I mean, disease don't have. You didn't wake up one day and say, well, let's put it this way. Alcohol didn't wake up one day and say, well, I'm gonna attack West today. it happened. And, you know, anybody that could conquer an addiction has got my hats. I mean, I am so proud of my wife. It's beyond belief. And look, folks, she was in bad shape.
Yeah.
I mean, she turned my family against her and everything. I've stuck by her. I've stuck by her. Even her parents wrote her off. I said, we can't do that. We can't do that. That's what's wrong with the system now, is we just write them off and let them go die. Can't do that. I'm done preaching. Thank you.
It's nice to meet you, Bob. Thanks.
Well, let me tell you something too, and Wes probably knows this about the spirit of like the gift when you open yourself up and you're heard. And so I want to let you know that as long as my YouTube is up and going, then your story will be heard. And inside of the comments, I'll talk about the story. And I will make sure that your story isn't like forgotten or, you know, cheated out of anything. And that I do know this, that anytime that you can be loved and be heard, we can move things. We can make things happen. And it's when we get interference from those things, or it's called the unbeliever. When the unbeliever, it's a passage in the Bible, and I lived through it with my own divorce, was that my preacher told me when the unbeliever does not believe, you have no bond. Just like that, boom, done. Because I had a real problem with, you know, is divorce like sanctified, like he wants to divorce me, you know, I don't want him to divorce me. And he said, if the non-believer doesn't believe, you got to let him go. He doesn't believe in the marriage, you got to let him go, you know? And so most of my life is about trying to surround myself with people that believe in what the energy is, what the force is, what the visions are for other people. This is why I'm constantly, and Wes knows this about me, I'm constantly trying to connect the dots. Because revolution, what you want to see happen, there's a match for that. There's a perfect match for that. What Wes wants to see happen, there's a perfect match for it. And it's really up to us to find the believers in that. And that's outside of religion. That's really kind of what the job of YouTube should be doing, is that we're trying to connect with people that care enough about us to listen, love up on us, believe in us, and do cool stuff. I was going to say a bad word, but, you know, do cool shit. Make things happen.
There you go. Here's the thing, Miss Beauty. I've had 3 heart attacks. I got 9 stents in my heart. I'm an amputee, a diabetic, high blood pressure, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I put my body through hell in 52 years, just to be blunt with it. And, you know, I've also given back a lot too. I was a firefighter at one time, then turned firefighter paramedic. I've not been perfect my whole entire life. Nobody can ever say that. But, you know, about 25 years ago, I woke up and decided I wasn't going to be a mean person no more. 25 years later, I'm a lot better person now than I ever was in my entire life. And you know, during that period, I was a very bitter person. And you're right. There's somebody out there that will connect with me and Wes's plan about changing stuff. I have no fear about that. But at the same respect, you know, I want to show people. I got involved with somebody last year. We did a drag racing event. It was my baby, my child, and I got ripped out of money, my part of it. I ended up with $4,000, and I was really mad because they made over $250,000 on it. And I was really upset. So, but I'm a big believer. I keep doing good. I'm going to be rewarded. So I just go with that.
We're so weak when we're alone, you know.
It's one of the thieves. It really is. When you are isolated, whether it's by your own willingness or that others have isolated you, and you know, money does it. I'm just letting you know, all your visions that you're thinking that money is indeed the vehicle to get you there. Money is no assurance that you will not be isolated at all. But Wes is right, that not thinking, and you go ahead, Wes, because you know what I've kind of been through with trying to bring the outreach out.
Sorry, dear. What's making me think here is that here you are, Bob, you've gone through the experimentation and the beat the limitations of getting on air and expressing that kind of thing. Well, you know, when you feel that in your heart and you've got that project, man, this is the last chance you got to, like, we got to take it out there. You got to hit hard. You got to keep straight and just do a better job of getting it out there. That's all.
Yeah. And it's the fact that, you know, we've been struck by the marketers. If you go to BitConnect and you really analyze what they've done, and there are some people that on YouTube that talk about their virality, their insistence, they will get live. And, you know, we do this too here on my channel, is that if Bitcoin is moving, or if I think that there's a heartbeat in there and I'm getting a feeling, you know, that whole kind of, you know, gospel thing, if I feel there's a feeling, a trembling in Bitcoin, man, I power it up, baby. And it doesn't matter to me if there's 1, 0, I know that someone in the next 24 hours is going to hit that button and listen. And there's a lot of people in my life that come to listen, and I could be talking about tapioca pudding, and they just love to listen. I don't know why, but if you
got a voice. You got a voice.
No.
Usually you do. You got a voice that I just seen that. I seen the charts up. I didn't really know that you were, but when I seen the word learning and W, I said, hello, click.
She's up to something.
But no, this is the first time I've ever watched you. I've already subscribed to you. So,
see, so that's what we want to see with your, you know, you have to use the technology that's in front of us. And then you have to just believe in that. Like, you know that I don't go on camera anymore, but anybody can go and look at my YouTubes and see if they want to see my DNA. I used to say that because the chart to me and what I was showcasing in the charts was more important than anything. And now it's building hospitals. And now it's putting sheets on beds. And now it's putting roofs on houses. You know, so
see, you're the kind of people that I want to associate with. You know, like I said, I was bitter in my younger years. But I'm told my wife, my ex-wife, and everybody else, hey, I've changed. I want to be a better person. This is 25 years ago. I got a 31-year-old daughter and a 29-year-old daughter. So, but I've changed my life. And
well, just that message alone, and then if BitConnect's your jive, do it. You know, don't be Don't be, I mean, put the disclaimer out there. Just let people know, listen, all of this is dangerous. It's tricky. We don't know. We're literally going by faith with what we can afford to risk. And you just do that. And you power up the YouTube and go for it.
Well, I'm used to talking in front of people. I've got another YouTube channel under a different name.
Okay, do that name. You're like Wes. He's got like nine names out there, but for whatever reason, he still wears plaid. You're on mute.
Well, we do. I do live broadcast racing on the internet called iRacing. I mean, I do that, and I don't do it as much as I used to. But anyways, I mean, I know how to get my voice out there. I started this channel, actually, the only video I got up there, I'm going to take down because I went at it halfway, and I don't like doing nothing halfway.
Forget it. Halfway is halfway, dude. I can show you 50% on the chart. You know Fibonacci? Okay, do you know where the ether name is right now? It's above the 50% right now. And it was doing just fine when it was below the 50% line. In fact, it's better to get involved below the 50% line. Do it. This whole kind of perfection thing is a thief. It really, really is. I'm telling you, 8 years I've been on YouTube come January 27th with only 10,000 lifetime views. My effort, my energy, hashtag make money with beauty. That's it. If I had ever stopped to think, well, it's not perfect, what I ran across is that I'm not strong enough to say no to the troll. I relented to the troll. That's what I did. I gave in. I cashed out the authority, which is not happening after 2018. And I don't give a you-know-what if my light's on, the light's off, the charts suck, or anything else. I am going to continue doing this because I, too, have a vision. I have a vision. There's things I want to achieve. At 61, believe you me, it clicks in, dudes. And I launched ships when I was younger. There's billboards of me. People used to stop me on the street thinking I was Carrie Fisher. You're on mute. So I want to make sure that we just keep on keeping on. Don't ask for perfection of yourself because it's a thief. It really is, Revolution. Don't be looking at it that way. You have a beautiful tone. You have compassion and passion over what you know. And this is why I'm going to do it's not even going to be a rant. Okay. We don't know how long YouTube is going to last. And if we don't collaborate and connect and get this all together and help ourselves, YouTube very much will be where this is all going to be paywalled. There's only a few of us that are going to survive on YouTube if we don't collaborate and connect.
Already started.
Yeah, it's horrible. And so for me, I look at it as though this is our chance, whether we connect over 100 people or a couple hundred people. And I don't care if you're talking about BitConnect or, and that's your thing. Who am I to shun you on that? It might be for me to educate you or be, question something, but, that's like questioning your architect every 5 minutes about the house that he built for you. It's ridiculous. You got to go in, you got to roll up your sleeves and see what the thing is about. And if you're making money and it can not only change your lives, but the future of other people, let's support you in doing that. So, because I don't know how long YouTube is going to, maybe we have 2 years, maybe.
Did we lose Wes?
No, he's probably just going off and doing something.
It's a thing that I get involved in something. I research it and research it and research it. I mean,
well, do it live though. Just do it live. Like push it out and say, listen, I'm about to dive deep on BitConnect. You want to come along with me?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, and do that live because the guys that are doing it live, they're what's called the success shills, you know? I mean, they're the ones wearing the Rolex watches. And here you are, you want to get it going and get it going to do good for humanity. You know, maybe you do care about a Rolex watch. I don't know. No, I mean, it's okay. But
No,
the fact that
I
you've
want to go
already
to
got
Australia.
the fact that you've already got kind of a vision in store for this, bring people along. I don't know. I did this over at Blab too, where I'm very
I
passionate
appreciate
about,
it. I mean,
about
I just, and I'm sorry I'm taking over your class here. I mean, with my story, but I mean, I want to learn. I really want to learn. I want to read these charts. I mean, it fascinates me. My chart has been up for over 24 hours. And, you know, I see the little ticker going up. I see the little ticker going down. I know setting it on 1 hour, that's the best thing. That 1 minute drives me crazy. But, you know, I've seen the boy, but he don't spend enough time on something. I've seen him draw bars where it pushes into a squeeze. I've seen him do the cup. You know.
Well, I have to check him out. You know what I mean? I have to check him out. And then what I can do is that we'll look and see what he's doing. And then we'll try to do a mini class of what he did. And I might learn some things, or I might be able to like kind of do a, you know how like when you have a class buddy? Yeah. And do it that way. And it's kind of like, let's do a class buddy over that video that he did. And we can do
he's
that.
Super young, and he seems to know his junk, but I mean, I just wish he would slow down. I mean, and look at things. He just got like 2,500 subscriptions. And I mean, he's doing really, yeah. And you know,
okay. Well, what is his name? Let's make sure that.
Let me look him up here real quick.
Okay, and I guess the Coin Scoop. I don't know if they're. Are you over at the Coin Scoop?
No.
Okay. Well, they're really sweet. They're sweet guys, and they talk about altcoins, and they're kind of fun. But I don't think they're going to go live tonight. I don't know. But, let me see. Let me see notifications.
Sniper's Tube.
Oh, wow. Okay, let me look them up right now. I will subscribe, and
now he goes on in the wee hours of the morning.
That's okay. You know what my other motto is? Sniper Tube or Sniper's Tube?
Sniper's Tube.
Dude, yeah, it's a great name.
Oh, now he's got 3,145 subscribers.
Wow. Yeah, I mean the whole thing is just.
And he's out trying to do basically the same thing. I mean, and he's only started this like 2-3 months ago. Yeah,
I mean it has. This is some of the problem is that there's a certain genre that they know how to use some marketing skills to get their channel out. Then, of course, the OBS helps. He's using TradingView chart, so we can actually replicate his chart because I can open up his chart right now if you want to see a living, breathing chart of his. And I will subscribe. Yeah, I will subscribe to his channel. And let me do that right now. Subscribe. I'd be subscriber number 31,000 or whatever, 3,100. Last to be notified. And he's not live right now. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Let me show you how I did that. If he ever shows you a chart. You ready?
Yeah.
First of all, are you using TradingView?
I've got TradingView, but I got Coinigy too.
And you have Coinigy. Okay, fine enough. So what we'll do is that what I did is up above, you'll notice that his chart, and I think
I don't even see it.
I know that I have to work on the Hangout for just a moment, and I will get up his channel.
Oh, I got you now. I got you. Okay.
So let me take us off of camera.
Okay.
While I show you how to do this. Okay, so hold on just a moment. Take us off a screen share, and then you're just seeing my voice bubble there. And let me go into his channel again, YouTube. I can actually do this live with you now. So the only thing that I'm trying to avoid is which doesn't really matter because just pictures on there. But okay, so here's YouTube. All right, here's YouTube. I'm going to present this to everyone, right? Here we are. And now let me get to work on the, here. Okay, so we're going to look up, I just subscribed to him. There's Sniper 2 down here. And we'll go ahead and hide that. And here's, I think maybe his most recent one. I don't know exactly. Open this up. And he's on, looks like he's on maybe Coinigy on that one. So let me find the one that he was doing.
I think he's got TradingView as well.
Yeah, so the one that I picked up.
Actually, that is corner, yeah.
It's the one where he was on the right. Oh, so I think it's this one. Nope, not on that one. It's a default one. It must have been this one. Nope. Give me a moment to find it. Go here. Mm-hmm. All right, let me just scrub through and see. He's going to be showing you.
Hang on 1 second. My mother is calling me. It sounds kind of bad, but my mother's got cancer, so.
So he does basically the same thing that I do, which is that when we're talking about patterns, that we show you pictures, which is what he's doing over here. This is the best place to find the pictures, the patterns. So outside of the fact that he's got OBS, he's showing you cup and handles, and he's getting his patterns from the 3 most common patterns from the Investor's Business Daily. But he's not taking you into Investor's Business Daily. And let me keep going through. And being still on. What I'll do then is I will. You're going to see my desktop, okay? But it doesn't matter to me. Just pictures. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to zoom in. And that is the name of his chart. I don't know if you can see that or not.
No, you took everything off the screen.
Oh, it did? Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Oh, no, I got you.
You got me now?
I got you in Hangouts, but you wasn't up on YouTube because I switched back up.
Down
There
on
you
YouTube
go.
and up on Hangouts?
Now you're back on there.
Let me see where I'm at, though. Nope. No. Let me work this out. Give me an application window.
Well, while you're doing that.
There we go.
Okay. Let's
All
see.
right.
Yep.
Here we go. All right. When you see a TradingView chart on his.
Not up on there. Oh, hello everybody. Now you got me switched over.
You shouldn't be on.
I was just on your YouTube.
Well, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Yeah, you're fine. What's showing on YouTube now?
TradingView.
There you go. Okay, excellent. So what this is that this is a snippet of his URL of his TradingView chart. Whenever you see the word chart, here, I'll get into that. Whenever you see the word chart right here,
yeah,
then you know that that is a living chart. You can actually go in, we can use this syntax, and we can go into TradingView and we can see the chart that he's working on right now. So that's one thing that you can do. If he's working on a chart and he's got drawings on the chart, this is how we find and get to the chart itself. So that's one of the secrets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up another window so that I can get the chart. Another thing that he does is that he takes you into Google Images, which is an old trick of mine, to get you started in looking and finding these patterns. So if you hear about a cup and handle, you just go ahead and trying to think of if he's got his, if it's uppercase 0, 8 SXK, uppercase E and uppercase D and uppercase W /. Let's make sure that we can get that chart. Looks like it's going to load, and it is. Okay, this is, I'm going to give you the chart, but I'm not going to put it in YouTube. I'll put it in our Hangout. Okie dokes.
Okay.
I think that that's better for everybody. Let me get the Hangout link here. Here's our Hangout. And over in the chat of Hangout, you'll notice there's a little blue bar over on the left-hand side, and the link to his chart will be right there. And it should be a live link. This is in our Hangout chat, not the YouTube chat. Okay, excellent.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so this is a little, it's a white hat hack. But if it says chart, then you will be given a living chart. So that is what he is looking at right now. He's looking at the XRP USD. Now you can't do a whole lot of things with the chart. You can squeeze it in. And there's a few things that you can do. For example, if you go into that chart and you minus, and minus, you can see that he's done some drawings and levels and isolation of channel and that sort of thing. Nothing really too fancy. And then he's drawn a not inclusive pennant. He might describe this as an asymmetrical triangle. I'm not really too sure. He has an RSI, which is set up at a 30 base to a 70 base, which is classic. It's a 3070 RSI. Well, we can do better than that. That's not so fancy. If you grab the chart and squeeze the chart down, you can see that he's got volume and he has an oscillator on his volume. I don't know what that signifies, but he's got some sort of an oscillator. So I'll have to find that out. But this is, you know, I don't want to say anything negative about anybody. Everybody's trying, and something that you'll hear a lot from me is that nobody knows what's going to happen. You know, that's just the truth of it. Nobody knows what's going to happen. So all this dialoguing over price movement and projections of where price will go is really just a conversation. It's a fascinating one, but it's just a conversation. And if he's able to get 3,100 people subscribed, I have 200 people subscribing to my channel. And he has 30.
Let me market it you then.
He has 3,100 people. You know, this is unbelievable. Really. Like, okay, so you've got the live chart, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you've learned that you can go forward and backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the only thing that you can't do, unless you're following him over on TradingView, is to make this chart your own. And you could do that. I can walk you through those prompts. But right now he has it as an unnamed view-only chart. You can see that over here. By Naeem Al-Obd. Do you see his name?
Yep.
So that's how you'd find him over at TradingView. So on the very right-hand corner, next to the word copy, you'll see unnamed chart, and just hover over that. Let that stay hovered, and it will say unnamed view only chart by Naeem Al-Obd. So we take that name over to TradingView, and then we try and find him over there. And then maybe he's published some charts, so I'm not too sure. But you know, this is we can do this, and I can kind of tell you, you know, like I can tell you what he's doing on XRP. What other names does he handle?
Well, he does Litecoin, IOTA,
and then what I'll do is I'll take this over to my Google Plus, and
Ethereum.
Oh, okay. All right. This is you'll be able to get this. I can't say you'll get it in a week, of spending any time with me, but you can get this easily enough. And everything that he's sharing, you're going to know right away. And you'll have maybe some better use of the tools. So no worries on that. No worries, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And then let's get back to the chart. And let me take my Hangout off of here. Now I know how that works. That's pretty cool. I did I opened this up. I put it on application window, and it was a piece of the application window. Pretty cool. All right, let me get my chart back up. Chart. Where'd you go? Must be over here. Where's my chart? Oh dear. Now see, now I've lost my own chart. You devil. You be devil. Okay, I have to go into our history and grab my chart. Please, 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 where are you? There's his chart. I always do this to myself when I end up having to go into email. Grab my own charts. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. And then if you want to have a live living chart of mine, of Ruby, I will give that to you over at the Hangout.
Okay.
And don't go too crazy or anything like that, but at least, you could kind of, like right now we're looking at the Ethereum. And when I move back over to BTC, when you reload, you might see me working on the BTC chart.
Now, am I reloading YouTube or Hangout?
No, you would just take, I'm going to give you in the Hangout, just like I gave you his live chart. I will give you my live chart, which I've done for quite a few people. That is a living, breathing Ruby. And when I move back over to BTC USD, you should probably see the chart. Whatever chart I'm working on is what you should see go live. And there we go. Present to everyone. Alrighty. The things that you might not
on YouTube right now.
I just put it up now. It should be up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We're in about, in the Hangouts, we're in about a 10-second lag, and then out on YouTube, it can be as much as 60 seconds.
Right. So which one you want me to be in? That's where I need to be.
What do you mean?
Hangouts or YouTube?
Well, it's up to you. I mean, you can even go dark over here. I mean, it's fun to get the questions with your voice.
How do I do that? I'm not too familiar with Hangouts.
Okay, so for example, Hangouts, you can go up above Hangouts, let it hover up above Hangouts, and you can turn the camera off if you want to, and that means we would be in pot. There you go, and we get to see your logo, and and now it's just podcast style.
Okay,
and that's how it will come out on the archive, and because your mic sounds good, tone of voice is good, and then any kind of natural ambient stuff that happens. Like we've been in a coughing house for the last month, and that means that a family member has a cough. That's what I call it, the coughing house. Because for whatever reason, I haven't been sick in over 10 years, but
goodness.
Everyone around me somehow always gets something. And but yeah, if anything ambient happens or whatever, all you have to do is go to the next symbol over, which is mute mic. And then you would be muted, and I would see that you're muted in the channel. So as long as you've got that Hangout link and I'm live, you can come into the Hangout, ask me live questions, or we can have a conversation, which is really preferred. And then we can share with each other in the private chat links and things that I don't want to have be made part of the public record.
Right.
So
I'm saving this Hangout link now.
And I think the Hangout link, it might change. It used to be that the Hangout link would stay the same, but you're over at the Discord now, right?
Yeah.
The Chart Chat Connect Discord. So you know, like there'd be every effort whatsoever to get you the new Hangout link, because I'm not too sure if the Hangout link stays the same. I'm not too sure about that.
Send me the link, please, one more time to
The
Discord.
Hangout link or the Discord link?
Box.
The Hangout link?
Yeah. No, the Discord link.
Ah, the Discord link. Sure. Hold on just a minute. Right over at Discord. Let me get my, oh, first of all, I gotta get, hold on.
Because
Discord.
I run Discord separate from.
Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You want an invite link or do you want the link?
Send the invite link so I can snatch it.
Invite. Yeah, you got it. Take it over to Google Hangouts, and not that it's a link that can be made public, but there's always the threat that it can change every 24 hours, but because I don't set it to never expire, but it's been the same link now for a couple of days. There's the Discord link, and I put it in the group chat for the Hangout. And do you know how to get over there? The group chat? Okay. All right, so I'm going to help you out. Hold on. Let me go back over to
like I got it on desktop, and I'm
going to help you. I'm going to help. So we're over at the Hangout. I want you to hover more towards the left side of the Hangout window. And you'll notice that there's a ribbon of icons.
Right.
The top one is the chat. So if you open up the chat, if you don't see links in the chat, let me know, and then I will.
No, I've got your links. I got.
Oh, okay. Okay. The one below that is a screen share. So when we start to screen share, like your charts, then we can screen share on the event.
Okay, I got that.
And then I don't use the other toolboxes or anything. I don't use any of that. And I haven't used the chat forever because this is the first time in forever, that anybody's really raised their hands to say, I'm ready to come on.
Well, I seen you sent me. No, you hadn't sent the link yet, but I've got the chat window up in Hangouts.
Well, you should see the Discord link. Let me throw it in again. There's the Discord link. Can you not see it?
No, I do not. It says group chat.
And down below the group chat, you don't see the links.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
You got it now? It's okay. So do you have both of my trading view for Ruby and his trading view chart? Do you have both of those?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, so his ends in KEW and mine ends in L3K. And that puts you up to speed with what he's got going on and how to grab his charts and keep them, if he's not live, at least you can see what he's looking at or what he's drawing, and then, we can go from there. Now, he is on, what chart was he showing? The XRP? I should probably open up the chart myself. He was showing this one here.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to him, if he's listening or anybody's listening, I did subscribe to your channel, and I will be notified. We're just using this as an example because Revolution here enjoys your content, so we're just trying to, in case, because you're not supposed to show other people's stuff. But anyway, this is Crypto, what's his name again?
Nadeem.
SniperTube. Yeah. There we go. And I'll share his YouTube link in the outside chat in just a moment. But this is the chart that he was looking at. And what we'll do is that we'll put this on my Ruby right now, okay? So it's the XRP USD.
Right.
And then we're going to go ahead and X out of that. And what I do is I plunk in my chart, XRP USD. And then, is he on what? Bitstamp, Kraken, Bitfinex, Polo?
I'm not real sure about that. I think it's Bitstamp.
Okay, so let's do the Bitstamp. All right. And then he's on a 60-minute bar. So we're going to move to the 60-minute bar. All right. Now, I don't know what his outlook is on anything. However, if you were not an XRP from 0.23357, you'd be crazy. This trade has been, and we've known this about Ripple though for a while, this trade has been on a tear since the Ruby Cross, which was down here after it based out, and it started to take its meteoric rise. We had a pullback to what is called the 41, which is right there. Trade survived, and now it looks like we're at the very center part of what you might call a cup and handle. So I can see maybe why he's drawing those conclusions. The problem with the cup and handle, though, is that there are certain rules of a cup and handle. And one of those rules is that the neckline of the cup and handle, which is this little bit here, and I'm not going to use my other tools. That's the neckline of the cup and handle, that it cannot pull back more than, and here's the base. Let me get the baseline in here. And of course, I'm just doing rules from memory. I don't follow the cup and handle very much. But that's the base right there. And this pullback cannot be greater than 50%. So clearly, this cup and handle was a failure. That was a failed read of a cup and handle.
Well, I don't think it was this chart. I don't think it was this chart that he was talking about.
Okay,
the cup and handle.
Let's find another one. Oh, he was talking about the triangle, right?
I don't think it was even on this. I thought it was XRP. It might have been Litecoin or IOTA.
No. We have the living chart. Hold on, let me grab it. Let me get rid of some of these tabs. Let's get rid of some of these tabs here. Get rid of the lobby over at Discord, and only so that my computer doesn't pull up. Let me go back over to Hangout, which is where? Where's that Hangout? See, now you've lost me.
I got so many open tabs right now. I'm looking.
Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, let me get rid of him running in the background. Let me get rid of my own chart again. And then, oh, there's the Hangout. Oh, you know why? Because someone tried to call me. Who tried to call me? Stop that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to grab his chart now. Okay. It's redirecting me to his chart. And it should be on our hand. Oh, now he's over to Dash. Did you see that?
People's questions, and it'll pop up. And
well,
he'll probably be going live here in just a little bit.
I would think so.
Because he's getting his information and stuff together.
Right.
It's that it was the Dash, because I see the cup that he was talking about, because it has a spillover. If you look right there at the end of the zero.
Right here?
Let's see. Can
you see me drawing on the chart?
Yeah. Okay. Go over to the zero. No, the other way.
I can't really move this little element here. So hold on just a minute. Let me zoom in here. Okay. There we go. You're talking about this pattern right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's the neckline. And remember, he's not including wicks or anything like that. He's including the bodies of the candles. And the training for cups and handles probably does allow for disallowing the wick. But that doesn't mean that you would disallow the wick on all patterns. So that looks like what he's doing, because he's not including the wicks down here. So you get a cup and handle according to him. You get the pullback, which should not be more than 50% from the neckline to the base. It should never be more than that. I believe that's the training. And then it blows up. But the thing is that it failed. You see that? Was he expecting that to happen?
He didn't say.
Okay, because a classic cup and handle, it'll pull back and then it'll explode and move. See, this wouldn't have happened. So this is a failed pattern right here. So, but let's take a look at Dash on Ruby. You want to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm learning.
So
I'll do anything learning.
Yes. And we'll go with the Bittrex, because I don't know which one he was looking at. And then what we're going to do, then take it off candles. It's going to be something that you will not see done very often. because the volatility of Dash, it's too, I really have to change the style of candles that we have on the chart. So, and then he was in a 30-minute Dash? No, 60-minute Dash. I just don't know what's the price. 1088, 1083, 1086.
Let's see your Dash.
So which number is he what Dash is he working on? I have the Bittrex Dash at 186. No, we're on the same chart. Yeah, price is the same. Price is the same. Let me isolate. He was at 1900 hours on the 7th. That's when this happened. So let me line my chart up with that on the 7th at 1900. On the 7th, let me zoom in here. On the 7th at 1900 hours. 1900, which is right about there. All right, let me do a vertical so we can get that on the 7th at 1900 hours, which is right here. So that's the center of his base. Okay.
Now when you're drawing,
Mhm.
okay, when you're drawing, it takes out a lot of time drawing it all out. I mean, or is it something that you would, after a while of doing it, you would get what you're looking for and everything?
Yeah, you get a feel for your particular focus, or we'll just use the word expertise. Your particular area of study, you study. And you keep studying that until you just can't take it anymore, or you disbelieve it. For example, you think that there's too many false reads, or, you know, it's just not working. It's just not working. It's just a broken approach for you. But you will always find someone that is an expert in cup and handle, for example. So, but these are people that they just spend, you know, a tremendous amount of time focusing on that pattern. So
I just want something that will work for me. This cup and handle, I mean it.
Well,
so
there's a
far,
lot of math involved in trading a cup and handle properly. And there's less math involved. We'll go ahead and put our candlesticks back on. There's less math involved with other you know, ways of looking at it. But you know, that cup and handle, what he's really looking for is he's looking for a low, and you can see this is why cup and handles can be useful, is that this was a low here. But you understand that you could have got this low through any other mean. Now, my horizontal lines already have they have annotations on them, so don't take anything from them. But,
okay.
So this is the bottom, most recent bottom. We got 1 tag, 2 tags, came back to bottom, 3 tags. So there's a lot to say that, wow, Dash is ready. You know, it's had 3 tags of reversal. If it doesn't break that low line, we're going to go up. But not based on a cup and handle. Because the cup and handle failed you. It completely failed. In fact, it went into another low. So for Ruby, for example, what you want to do is that you want to, Dash is, gosh, this is wily business here. There's way too much reason for, if I was following this trade, that this entire activity would have been a no trade. In fact, from way back here, we would not be trading Dash after the long that it had and crossed over short, because everything is too condensed. There's nothing really going on. So I'm not too sure why he's got people in this exactly.
Well, there's a lot of people that were doing Dash, and you know,
yeah. So
was asking to get out or stay in, but I mean, right. I wouldn't even touch that one.
Let me look at the bigger picture. Let me take the candles off so I can see my Ruby. So Dash would have been Ruby long from down here, 268. It looks like it had a tendency to, we could have taken the 268 to when it went short. Then it had this wonderful explosive move. Then it went into a sideways activity. where there would have been no one trading it. Horrible. So this trade has been almost as if you don't know how to manage your profit, you're going to get taken out if you don't manage your profit and you don't know where to put your stops in. So this trade is really kind of sophisticated. You could look at it that we got a W pattern in, and then maybe we would take the trade from there, and then of course the trade is just it's just gonna
when it stops on that upward swing up there toward the top.
Yeah, let's get our candlesticks back in. I'll show you what we can do to manage the trade. We're going to have to go really tight in though, okay, because it's been so volatile. So you can see all this chop, no one's making a decision. Nobody should be making a decision. Our 8 and 12 EMAs are so tightly wound up here, it's very difficult to decide when to get in. Really, really tough. Man.
Okay, so when it starts that upward swing, when it starts climbing the steps there, I mean,
well, yeah, Ruby takes a little. If Ruby was quite as easy to understand, but yes, when we get traction off of the ledges and there's enough distance, yes. Most people that look at the Ruby, what we want to see happen is we want to see a trajectory, and we need for the 8, which is that those yellow dots, to stay supporting the close, and we need to see it for, now this is only a 5-minute chart, so we wouldn't be just taking the cross just for the hell of it. We would really need for Dash to prove to us that it's going to move forward. I'm going to show you something because we had a high and a low here, so we could have taken a little Fibonacci. We take a fib tracement tool, we're going to pick it from here, we're going to draw it down. I'll get a little closer here too so we can see. And why is it backwards? Do not tell me. Do not tell me what's going on with my fib retracement. Let's do here again. There we go. Something is a little wonky there. All right. So on this little teeny tiny fib retracement, and we can bring it in here from a high to a low, we knew that once this trade moved above a new high, the trade went up and up.
Okay.
Okay. Now as the trade goes up and up, and then you don't know how to manage your winnings, it becomes a problem. But obviously this was a tremendous move, and people did take their profits. But now we benefit, of course, because we can look back, is that we draw another Fibonacci from here, high to low. We can get very specific over where these pinpricks are, because you can go into the tool and fix all those and make those all look pretty and everything. So it's perfect. Now we are sitting at an area of full retracement. So anyone that had carried on after this price is losing yet again. You see they climbed back in, and now the chart is in full retracement. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we want to kind of
make actually losing money at that point.
Well, what's happening is that if they didn't know how to manage this meteoric rise, they lost there. Then they load back up again, and the trade goes back up again. But they don't know how to manage that trade, and the trade retraces, which is what it's doing right now. So he's drawing a triangle, and this is why. So he's now using another, we'll put another tool on here. And the triangle is not really a triangle. It's a double top, which is from up here. We could draw a triangle from here. That's good enough. We'll do that right now. And we are going to use a tool called the ray tool to begin with, which is where we take a high to the nearest high, and we ray tool it out. Let me move the chart in so we can, and I'll make a copy of this, a paper copy, okay? So you can have it. And then maybe we take this, but that doesn't work because the triangle's broken. So that doesn't really work.
All right, stop right there for a second. Yeah. Now you say that the triangle is broken. Tell me what you mean by that.
Right here, the triangle has come out of formation. Let me get rid of this thing so you can see it better. You see? Price has come out of the formation.
So you're going by that red candle where it crosses.
Well, you have to have a conversation. It's the condition of the price right now. So just talk it through. If this was indeed the triangle, because where else am I going to get the triangle from? Okay, well, I could do it from here, maybe. Maybe I could do that. It's still out of the way. It's still done. I could do it from here. It's still reaching the triangle.
Okay.
Any way you look at it. Now we could, people form fit all the time. That's a wedge. That's the pattern you really should be drawing, because as price flicks in here, the expectation on a descending wedge, which this is that price goes to the upside. That's what
anything below that, what you call the bottom line on that wedge.
Mm-hmm.
If any candle breaks through that, it's done.
Well, the conversation that you have with each other is that you have a breach. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that everything is over, and it's not going to recover, and it's not going to come back inside and then blow off, because no one knows what's going to happen. But the pattern that he's showing as being a triangle, that triangle has busted out. The pattern he should be showcasing people, especially if he has a long sentiment, as most traders, they have a sentiment, they have a thesis. This is the pattern he should be showing you. And then what I'll do is I'll use just the regular trend line tool so you can see it a little bit better. And then I'll go down here, and that's the wedge itself. That is a descending wedge. And we can look up descending wedge. We can go over to Balkowski, but we can do it his way, which it goes descending wedge, and then he shows you lots of patterns, right? What is a descending wedge? This is a descending wedge. Descending wedge breakout. Descending wedge. Falling wedge. That's a falling wedge where you don't have the flat line. These are other sorts of wedges that do the same sort of response. And we can go descend. I should probably maybe do descending triangle. Let me see what the descending triangle. There we go. Descending triangle. Flat bottom, support levels, resistance levels, breakout. Descending triangle price pattern. That's a short. Here's another one. I haven't seen this one. The way that this pattern is supposed to work is to the upside. They're showing you breakouts, and then the pattern continues on. So they're taking the base range here, and they're telling you that the pattern will break down upside. That's another one. That could be happening. Go back over to Dash and see if that's possible. I don't know. I mean, do you want me to tell you what I think is happening? Or do you want me to?
Certainly.
Because we had a beginning line here, a tag, another tag, a fourth tag of a support line. We know that, and let me go ahead and get rid of these lines, because now this is what you're going to have to learn to do too. If it's not working, go ahead and get rid of it, and then start fresh. I bet it's going to break out. just like I said it would, but I get nervous, to kind of show. I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of looking at the same thing that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a supporting line there. Your supporting line ain't going to let it fall but so much, correct?
Well, right. I mean, you've got a lot of supporting members over here from the Fibonacci, right? You have the 50%, which is down below our 8. I understand that, but it's still 50%. So if you were in this trade and you knew that you were in full retrace, you don't want to take anything less than 1044, right? Because we just know that something anemic is going on, and nobody wants to lose all of that money coming to the upside. That would just be silly. But of course, you can see that there are a lot of silly people in this for a long, long time. So, but now we have two Fibonacci swings. We have this little one down here, which helped us deal with the explosive move. And we have this little one here, and you can draw these yourself too, which may help guide us a little bit as to what's going on here. And it certainly is, because we are below, the price now is below the full retrace. So people are going to be singing the blues and probably trying to come in here and save themselves. We can do another Fibonacci if you want to see us do that. It's more like a fib and a fib, but we can do it.
Sure.
And we just grab the high to, and we'll have to probably do more like a progressive fib. Because if this price goes lower, then we have to admit, and we have to bring the fib down. We're good up here, okay, because we have the double top. So we know that this is not the last time that Dash will have a double top. So ultimately, price is going to go to 1152. That's a given. There's just no way that Dash is over. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so we know that 1152 is a good price. It's just how much of this are they going to travel through? How much are they going to travel through? Because I'm going to bring this up a little bit here. The way that you perfect your Fibonacci, too, so that you know, is that you open up the tool, you get into the tool, which is on the far left over here. You ask for the settings, and you go into coordinates. You hover over your candle to find your coordinate, and this is a little hard because there's so many numbers. 1152, 8156. So you want to do 1152, 8516. Is that right? 1152, 85. Oh no, I got that wrong. But it looked right. 815. Oh, I got it right. Did I add too many zeros? Same thing down here. Let's make sure we find our low candle, which I think is 1074.52.9 versus 1072. So it's this one here. Put that right there. We go to our tool. Well, no, that one can't be right. This one here. 75. 74. It's this one here. Okay. Or this one here. Open up the tool. We're clicking onto the button. Go into settings. Go to the price number 2. And hover over it again. 1074. 4 dot. Go back to the click again. 5296. Whoa. 52969. 2, 3, and a 4. Go okay. All right, now that fib is perfected. We're not messing around. Got it?
Gotcha.
And if you start doing things like that, then you won't build up bad habits. You go ahead and you take the time. So like when I'm live, you'll hear me say, I'm going to do like a sloppy fib, but I'll go back in and fix it the best I can. But man, this thing.
Figure out why my chart is so daggum different than yours, because it's showing the last trade at 120, and I'm on a 5-minute clock too, but yours says 0600.
Are you looking at the Hangout, or are you looking at the YouTube video? If you're looking at YouTube, we're going to have a delay. That's why we can't do the track and trade.
No, on both of them, yours at the bottom says 05 and mine says 02. At the bottom of the chart down here on your timeline.
Oh, on the timeline, that's because I'm using UTC.
Oh.
I'm not using Greenwich. I'm using whatever it's called, Universal Time. I guess it is Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, that's why. You're probably got your settings on New York time or ES, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to change that right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to be on the global clock. It's all of us make mistakes on calling out the number, you know what time it is, but okie dokie. All right, let me take a picture of the chart and get it over to, never done a comprehensive dash chart before. That's pretty interesting. And we're going to do chart, and get a picture of the chart. And it's the BASH, USD. I use the, what exchange are we on?
Bittrex.
Bittrex, okay. And that is the chart itself, the picture. It's just in the queue. And then we're seeing that infinity screen because let's take him out of there because what he had on the dash was some sort of a channel. And I probably should have refreshed his chart. Oh, I know why, because I went into the YouTube video. That's why we went into infinity. So let's dialogue about the chart for just a moment. We know what the bigger pattern is, and we've given ourselves permission to go inside to learn a little bit more about what the projection is of price, correct?
Right.
Okay. So let's just keep, and because we both know what we're looking at, we will continue working on the chart. And what I'm going to do is build a channel here. I'm going to squeeze my chart in only so that we can see everything else. We are going to take that channel and we're going to make a clone. Pardon, it's from a clone. And then we're going to grab it because he seems to like channels. And we are going to see, does that channel work? Okay, well, it got busted up there, but that's what he's relying on. He's not perfecting the channel, which you should do. But he's probably forgiving the fact that we got a couple, just 10 minutes because he's working on a bigger chart anyway. So that's a perfected channel. Now, what do you see here? The test of the lower channel, and what's the projection?
Upward.
Yeah, and you would do it on like a measured move, right? So we could actually take it from, we'll take the whole move. I'll put that in yellow so we can see it better. Like an orange, okay? And then, even though I can't reverse this, what'll happen is that it'll actually go up here. I'll do it this one maybe. There's another way I can do that, but then we'll take it to the 618. So that's a projection in a perfect world. It gets a little wonky, but it's the same thing here. The heel is here, move is here, move is here. It's the same thing. So in that way, it's behaving pretty well.
Well, that's just cool right there, what you just showed me.
Another thing that you can do is we can do price range. Oh, sorry about that. No, I'm not going to use that tool. Well, I'm trying to get the distance between here and where the move would reside, where it would conclude, and more than likely it'll be the same. Sometimes what can happen in a channel like this is though it starts to weaken or break up, and therefore we'll either get a power move that goes like almost parabolic, or it'll be like a languishing, crazy thing, and then it'll get so tired and just kind of fall out of itself. But right now, it's looking like if this channel This channel holds up. If it does what it's supposed to do, and he thinks that there's a channel. Let's go to a bigger chart. Am I boring you or anything, or
Oh, no,
are you still good?
I'm
Okay.
glued.
Okay. Good.
I'm glued.
Right. So he's looking at like a 30-minute chart, right? Let's just think that he is. So in a 30-minute chart, what we can do is we can move this. I'm sorry, that's the Fibonacci. We can perfect the Fibonacci there. We can also perfect the channel, but we don't want to change it too much by pushing it up to the wick. And because now we can see it a little bit better. In 30 minutes, keep pushing. Push. That's a little bit better. And then down here, I think we did a pretty good job. Right there. And then it's doing a perfect job over here. It is doing exactly what it should do by holding up its bargain. To stay true to the trend, which is upside, okay, because the trend is in what direction? Look at everything else. Look at all of our choppy EMAs. And I'll explain to you why they look like this in just a moment. But what direction do you think this chart is in?
Or downward.
No. Come on now. Left to right. Left to right. What direction is price?
Oh, upward. I'm sorry. There you
go. Yeah. What was the first thing that I asked you?
Yeah.
You have to know. Right. Okay. That's funny.
I'm just so glued on everything right now.
So yeah, we did a Fibonacci. That kind of looks like the destination. We know that Dash has a double top, which it looks like it probably wants to live through. But I wouldn't put up with any funny business from this, because they could just, they could do all sorts of kind of weird things.
So if that bottom line at the timeline there sitting on the bottom,
yeah,
if it breaks that, but that's a supporting line though, correct?
Well, it is. It's a pretty decent one too, don't you think? It comes off of the high, right? The trajectory high. That's where the whole thing starts. I mean, so I can't make this channel line any better than it is. I mean, we can fiddle around with how it's drawn a little bit,
but as it sits right now, it should just keep its same trajectory going up.
Yeah, I mean, look here. We're going to get really tight.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see this activity down here? You see where it's just candle over candle dust?
Yeah.
You see that? The trade is stalled right there on the trend line.
Okay.
So it's trying to make a decision as to what it wants to do. That's why these are called four-way dojis. So either the exchange is down, there's something funky going on, because look everywhere else. None of these other bars look like that. So something's going to happen. Something happening down here. Don't know what. Look at that. Gee whiz. Huh?
Very sporadic.
Well, yeah, because you don't get four-way dojis. This is what it looks like in real time. It is fighting for its life. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. I mean, I give it 9 minutes, and then it's going to make its decision. That's it.
Now, how do you determine that?
It's just it's like a 9. I call it Tom DeMark talks about the 9-bar count. I know that things take about 9 minutes for if something weird is happening, it's like a 9-bar count. It's just something that I've grown up with, that you're always looking for 9 bars. And it's just a family kind of folklore. But there is a person, his name is Tom DeMark, and he created the 9-bar count theory. And, but yeah, I mean, you don't have, where else are you going to go with this? It has to make a decision soon.
Yeah, it's running out of time, so to speak. I'm going to keep my eye on that one, just to see where it goes.
Yep.
mark.
Now
it
you
in
saw
my
those
chart.
other, we'll move into the 5 minute. Let's see. Let me go into the 15 minute just to get my chart back there. It normally would be, because I usually showcase the 15 minute with Ruby. All right. So we'll get back to Ruby. Ruby is a coded indicator. Ruby is a stacking sequence of EMAs that everybody is familiar with. The only thing that's different is that it's a certain it's a certain sequence that works in order with some of its human nature, some of its classically known EMAs. But what makes her unique is that she's built on a fixed 60-minute chart. So when we're digging in, we're seeing what is in the 60-minute, which is the most classically known way of looking at an indicator. So you'll get arguments like, well, that's the 5 minute. We don't want to look at the 5 minute. Well, Ruby is fixed to the 60. So we benefit by looking at a 60-minute indicator up against a 1 minute bar. So that's what makes her really powerful. We can dig, we can get in. We can it's almost like a microscope, like looking at a cell up close. That's one of the benefits.
And I can't even get this chart.
Which one?
I'm searching for it on Coinigy just to see. You said it was in, but it ain't here.
No, listen up.
Okay.
Ruby is an indicator built with PineScript that can be deployed on TradingView. It is free on GitHub, not on Coinigy, on GitHub. You can go over to GitHub and grab the script. Or I gave you a chart, and there's a script below the chart. If you open up the Pine
If I
editor,
do it in TradingView, yeah, I wouldn't.
and you can do it in TradingView, and you will see my coder's name. His name is Need Money. And if you are using that chart and you want to know more about it, then there's a lot of material that I've done. There's always material that I'm working on. And then I have a GitHub where the backtesting resides, and another guy that forked and worked on some different colorizations for colorblind people and that sort of thing. But this is my work, and when you hear Ruby, and not Ruby on Rails, when you hear Ruby on the charts, everyone knows that it's Beauty Bubbles Ruby.
Yep, the script code ain't in there, so that's for sure.
On that chart, you can't get it?
Nope.
What does it say?
Hold on, let me get back to Pine Editor.
When you make it yours. Did you make the chart yours?
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, I'll show you. All right, so you've opened up the chart?
Yeah.
Okay, let me open up just a regular chart of the trading. And then we'll have to go into my story, I guess, about me creating TradingView. Oh, we're just going to grab a chart. Okay, can you see the chart that I'm showing?
Yeah.
All right. You see it?
Yeah.
All right. You see down below where it says here, share?
Whoa. No, I think you're
down below on the right. It's to what?
Our tickers are our little icons down there where we're on, but I'll get to that area on the right. Let me go down there.
Okay. Yeah, just pick up any chart. I'm just showing you as an example.
Well, it don't say share on mine. It says open, new, save, add chart, publish script.
Not up at the right, on the bottom. On the bottom, doesn't say share? Are you on a chart of your own?
No, it's your chart that you shared with me.
And it doesn't have these symbols down below. Look at our look at our at our hangout.
No, it does not.
It doesn't have the share symbol, huh?
Not in TradingView.
Okay, well, we'll work on that in just a moment. When you see share, let me open this. Do you see this pop-out window?
Yeah.
On the Hangout? Okay. This is the share menu. You see where it says make it mine?
Yeah.
When you do that, and then you go into script editor, into Pine.net, let me eliminate that. When you go into script editor, which it will show, then you can open up the script.
Okay.
But this is like, you know, this isn't for everybody.
Oh no.
Meaning that it isn't for what I should say it this way. It's not everybody's cup of tea at all. At all. I just want to let you know that.
Okay.
It's a lot of people's cup of tea. It's been a lot of people's cup of tea, but it's not for everybody, meaning that there's a lot of nuance and, you know, but you can go through let me grab my GitHub for you. I thought that it was in my description, but maybe not. Let me go back over to Twitter. See what's going on over there, and then I'll grab. Pretty sure I've got it over. See, this last one that I did. Okay, GitHub. Here we are. And there you go. And I'll put this in. We're going to go into Infinity. We'll put this over here. And this is our GitHub. And backtesting and scripts and all of that are over there in GitHub. Also, when we're over at Twitter, you can see that I used to mark off my Twitters. You can kind of see, you know, I do close-ups. Everyone knows when they see these, you know, like Deep Ruby, what is Ruby doing? Ruby's broken, Ruby's held, extreme volatility, watch out, Ruby's taken over the world. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
Okay, so it's just not for everybody. Price is densely wedged in resolution will be shortly. Ruby is in a no trade zone or caution to holder zone. So it's things like that that I talk about. So.
Oh crap! I can load that up in NinjaTrader as well. Snap.
You can do anything that you want, because everything that I do is open source. You even look at the back testing.
Now I'm just getting it loaded up in without copying just the code. I don't know how to get the code from the zip folder. But I could probably do it this way. Let's see here.
And then I have rules that come across in the in our Nightbot, which are kind of cool, that I've been working on for a while now, trying to get people just to get the instruction out. But I have a let's see where it is. I go into Blogspot now. Okay. On my Blogspot, you can find videos and my writings, and there is a legend for Ruby with a cheat sheet and how to read it and all of that. And I'm constantly working on different ways of sharing what I know about how she works. I think that's over at our things.
I am cooking with grease, I think.
Doesn't take much. And then over at the command, the Nightbot, all you have to do if you lose anything or lose your mind, go into rules, and the rules, crazily enough, let me take you over to, I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Maybe you can. Hope you can. You see that on YouTube?
Hold on. I'm consuming other places here getting this script to work. 1 second. Well, why is mine brighter than yours?
Well, when the colors come over, we've noticed this too on other, it could be your screen, it could be the way that the platform that you brought the script over to sees the colors, but all the color.
On Trading View, I'm doing it on Trading View.
Yeah, it can do different things. I can't explain it exactly what Trading View does. Trading View could, be testing colors. I have no idea.
But it's really bright. I'll figure it out. I'm pretty good at computer stuff. Actually, better at a lot of things.
Okay, well, just so that you know, that code on Mt. Gox for 1 year, for every $5,000 that you block bought and used Ruby, turned into $782,000 for $5,000 block.
What?
First trade that Ruby took was $12.50. And the back testing is all there. And actually, the back testing was run through Mira, which is the 5th fastest computer on the planet Earth. And we ran the back testing that quickly because TradingView was going to put Ruby on the indicator menu for free. And then they came back to me and said, we don't want to put it on for free. We think it should be $9.99. And I came back to my little trader group and I said they want to charge people for it. They freaked out. All of them freaked out, said that that's not Bitcoin. That's not what it's about. It should be free. Said they don't want to do it for free. And then one dissenting character said that he didn't want to go for the deal because the cut for what we would all get, and I'll explain the cut that we would all get, he wanted more. So I went back to Stan Bokov, the CEO of TradingView, and I said, Stan, this is where we stand. The guys want it for free, so we have to work something out. We have to do something on the pricing. And I have one dissenting member that doesn't want the 70-30 cut. He wants an 80-20 cut. And within 3 weeks, I was banned from TradingView.
Oh, my goodness.
I've been banned from TradingView 3 times. 3 times. That's what a badass I am, according to them. They think, TradingView thinks I'm a third-party competitor. Me.
My goodness.
So the code that you got, that's what I'm saying. It's not for everybody. It's out there, and I've done everything that everybody wanted me to do, make it open source, do this, do that, create this and that and the other, bend over backwards, bend over forwards. And I've been doing it for years, like this, until 2018 comes around, in which you are going to hear more things like, you want a relationship with me, put it on the blockchain. If you want a relationship with me, you got to put it on the blockchain. I don't know how it's going to go over, but
how does that, I mean, how's that going to work, dude? I mean,
You just grab the donation address and that's it.
Oh, okay.
It's a dust to dust kind. I don't know exactly how I'm going to start telling people. The moment that the very first bit of Bitcoin that I ever received, I love telling the story, was for a little company that was trying to do promotion tweets on Twitter, and they would pay the tweeter, and then they would charge the company that wanted to have the promotion done through Twitter. So I did a promotion for a cheese company, and I got paid 8 cents. And it is the most important piece of Bitcoin that I've ever received. I got 8 cents for a tweet.
My goodness.
You want to know how long ago that was?
How long ago was it?
Let me see. Okay, let me tell you. That's pretty fun. Pretty long time ago. But I do, oh, I was telling, it was, I'm going to tell you, it was the 16th of December, 2013.
Oh my goodness.
That is when I did a cheese tweet for 0.02 BTC. On the 16th, that was yesterday. How many years ago? 4 years ago. And I'm supposed to be a third-party competitor that's going to take everybody out of business. And but yeah, I'm going to change a lot of that. I'm never going to put things private. Like all my YouTube videos, I'm taking them all out. They're all going to be public because YouTube says that after I have 10,000 unique views, I get to be monetized again. So I'm going to be doing that. But
well,
yeah,
I'm gonna put you out. I'm gonna get you out there.
You're gonna put me on blast, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh man, that's pretty funny. But yeah, that's how, cryptocurrency has been a very, very interesting road. Now let me tell you about the donation, right? Everybody used the word donation, right? Or tip address, or you know, when we all did coin tip.
I ain't got shit, bro. Excuse my language. I ain't got that yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, everybody did it in the beginning because it was a way of transacting, a way of showing
They're still
how.
doing it.
Right? Okay, so sure enough, of course, right? I say donation. You know what they say? She's begging for money. Me.
That's just not right.
You see what I mean? Right. So it's like it's a very insulting, you have to be a certain, it's just, you have to be a certain kind of asshole. I don't know what it is. So.
Well, it's not in my DNA to be mean, especially to a woman or anybody for that matter, because I believe in karma, and karma has bit me more than once. And no offense or anything, but I don't like that bitch. Excuse my language, but I don't like her. And I've learned as long as I can be nice, it's paid dividends for me. Somebody, you get people all the time, I'm sure you do too, that will come up to you and say, "Hey man, can you give me a couple of dollars?" And I used to get so mad over that. Yeah. And now I just tell, if I got it, I give it to them. If I don't, look, man, I ain't got it. But the other night, this guy was I was filling my car up with gas at the gas station. And this couple come up and she was mad with him. He said, "Look, man," he said, "I'm not going to ask you for no money," but he saw me putting in gas. He said, "Will you give me a gallon of gas so I can get home?" I put 5 gallons of gas in his car. Told him Merry Christmas. Yeah. I didn't have it because I kind of overdrafted a little bit. But I mean, hey, when you live on a fixed income, which I am trying to get off of, that's where it lies. But,
well, there's kind of, for me, there's two kinds of people. There are makers and there are takers.
That's a good analogy right there.
It's really, really simple. Now, we get the chance every day of our lives, every moment of our lives, to be one or the other. And sometimes it's symbiotic, like when we're sharing at any moment, right? It goes back and forth, right? You share a story that moves my heart. I share a line on a chart, not to make it rhyme or anything, but that's where both of us are being of the same, right? We're making and we're taking at the same, kind of like a good meal, or making something, a flower arrangement or something, where we're both, there's this give and take that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
But the people in which there's a clear distinction between being a maker and a taker. I know more about this. I really need to do a TED Talk. I know so much about this. And whether it's, I don't know, there's a saying, an aunt of mine used to say, I must have been an axe murderess in my former life, like I can't do bad. Like, it's just not in me. Like it's not even in me to think about. I don't think bad thoughts. Like everybody would, call her
that way.
She was an early saint, like she couldn't think bad. So to make a little joke of it, when people would say, why did you do that? Or that was so kind, or, and if it was with family, she would just kind of say, I guess I must have just been like, I must have been really, really bad when I was, in a former life. And we used to giggle about that, and always be thinking that, we have a choice in this life. And not to say I have been, I know all of this is at will, like you're just a guy on the internet. I'm just a girl on the internet. And we have a chance to make it be different, but it's really at will. Like, that's why I look at it as being, hey, listen, let's do good now, because we don't know who will be tomorrow.
Well,
not
to one up or anything like that, by no means, because I feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
But I put my life in harm's way for 30 plus years. And I'm not saying I'm owed anything, by no means, because I did it because I loved it. Since I was 4 years old, I wanted to follow my daddy up through the firefighting stuff. He was a volunteer firefighter for many years. And I'd ride my bicycle and I could sound just like a siren, just like it. And they'd all come running out just to see if it was an ambulance coming by, and it was me on my bicycle. But I mean, my father, he's still alive. My mother's still alive, and I'm thankful for both of it. My father's in a rest home with Alzheimer's. I take care of my mother. My wife lives in West Virginia for the moment because she got in trouble because she had got in trouble with the addiction. And there was one thing years ago, I had to give up on her.
Oh, but, wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's how cold I was. I had to give up on her. I had to put her packing. But my heart wouldn't let me do it. I love that woman with every ounce. And if I get teared up, I'm sorry, because every time I think of this, it just. But I love that woman with every inch of my heart. And yeah, she's put me through hell. But you know what? At the end of the day, I thank myself for it, because when nobody else was there for her, I was. And that just, that's a good feeling. I've been on an ambulance, I've been on a fire truck and all that, and I've helped people. This is a different kind of help. And I hope with whatever time I got left on this earth that I make some kind of contribution to get these people help that they need, because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. And I've been poor. Look, I worked on an ambulance for $10 an hour. That's recently. I'm a paramedic. I didn't do it for the money. I did it because people need help.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I get off on that tear.
I think it's you're fine, and I don't care what this at all sounds like at all, but God's listening, and I do believe that. That's one of the powers of this particular platform, is that where two or more gather. To me, it doesn't matter if it's between some X's and O's on the internet, where two or more gather. And he's listening. And I know that he's listened to every person that's ever said something lousy. He's listened to all my rants. He's heard my frustrations. And if the internet, is a very powerful thing, and I just know that, I know that I say things like the internet, I'm not here on the internet for friendship, right? And I should probably follow it up with why I believe that it's more of a force of good, because my motto is to make money to do good. That's it. It's been my motto since my father died. And it's all that I know. It's all that I want to know. So that my path is very clear. And so, if we fire up and we power up a little YouTube, and it somehow opens that space up for you and makes that happen for you so that you can do more good, then let the tears, let count them. He's counting them. He's counting them.
And you can look at that in that aspect. And, I've cried many nights. I've been broke. I mean, broke, beaten. I had money at one time. I run a side business, a big construction company, actually, burying fiber optic cable. Had that taken away from me. I mean, every time I've tried, last year I told you about the drag racing deal. I'm friends. I don't know if you ever watched TV, or especially the Discovery Channel, but the Street Outlaw people. I'm friends. I'm friends with all of them.
Oh, are you? That's very funny.
But it wasn't all of them.
But enough of them.
Yeah. Well, it was a handful, and I won't call their names. But they ripped me out of some money. I mean, one, if he didn't stand up for me, I wasn't gonna get nothing. And it was my planning. It was my baby. The whole thing was my planning. It was based off of my dream to bring no prep style drag racing to the eastern part of North Carolina, or the East Coast. It was the first one on the East Coast of that magnitude. And I had all the big names there, except for a few from Oklahoma City. And, but there's a lot of them that I still talk to on a regular basis. I mean, I'm going to share when I put this all together and I put it out on Facebook about the BitConnect thing. And I could tell by just hearing it in your voice, you're not too keen on the BitConnect deal, but
well, because I'm just I'm a different trader. Like I'm not, I'm just listening. Like you can tell, I've watched all the videos. I watch every single one of them. I'm fascinated. A quick little story. I was a Mary Kay girl, and I was Mary Kay. I sold Mary Kay when you could meet Mary Kay. I met Mary Kay 2 times.
Okay. Maybe stop right there for 1 second.
Yeah.
If you tell me that you didn't get a pink Cadillac, I'm hanging up the phone. No, I'm kidding.
Okay. So I worked for Mary Kay, and man, I bought in. I did everything. I'm telling you, I had the pink office. I only wore pink and lavender. I did the whole, I was bought in. And I did everything. I had bridal parties. I did the flea markets. I did the door-to-door. I did everything to sell my product. I got a call one day from, I'm going to start to talk a little Southern because that's kind of what happens to me when I get tired. So he calls me and I'm like, okay, what's going on with you? And he was always a little like, he wouldn't mind trying on some makeup every once in a while, okay? So without like exposing too much, because in those days, but anyway, it didn't surprise me that he was calling for, face cream or whatever. So I'm like, what's going on with you? And he says, well, I need for you to come and meet me at the office. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. No, he says, come on over. And I'm like, okay, this better be good, So I go in and he says, come on into the conference room. And there are his parents and a couple of accountants or whatever. And I'm like, what's going on here? I thought maybe they wanted me to do something crazy. I don't know. And they said, well, we've got your book and thank you very much. And they pushed a piece of paper towards me with an order. And I said, what's this? So you just want a couple of things? Okay, it's okay. I got it. No problem. A case of this, 3 cases of that, 9 cases of this, a trip to Dallas. They wanted it all. They wanted everything. I was like, okay. And I couldn't say anything because they were and they might even still be, the #1 funeral parlor franchise in the United States of America.
Oh my goodness.
My best clients, I had to tell Mary Kay this, my best clients were dead people. True story. I didn't get my pink Cadillac, but I was on the way for a Buick Regal. I had 26 girls, and then my husband came home and said he didn't want to be married to a girl that wore makeup. And kind of put me out of business a little bit. And but yeah, my best clients were dead people. Isn't that funny? So when I'm looking at these companies, I'm just looking for the dead people.
That's good. I love it.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, I've already been there. I've already bought in. I'm already digging it. I'm just looking for the dead people because really I couldn't sell as much product as I needed to. And I never quite understood, like why I couldn't, but once again, it's a business for a certain type of a woman, a certain type of a person. And I did not really fit in. And it wasn't a struggle for me to look the part, but it was a struggle not to give things away for free, which I did. I mean, I would give, it's like people go, oh, I can't afford this. I would say, you look so beautiful. Here, it's on me, please. It's your time to be beautiful. You learned how to do it now. I've helped you do it. And of course, that puts you out of business pretty fast. Right. when you're sitting on $25,000 worth of inventory, and you're trying to give it away. But yeah, that's my Mary Kay story. So I think if it's BitConnect, and we all know what the risks are, and that for me, it's kind of looking at it from a marketing perspective that's healthy for everybody. See, I don't think it's healthy to do some of the marketing standards that they're doing, but this is just me. And I don't know who's the best at it that's like me at all, but I know that the people that I've learned from on YouTube that were kind of ready for a new voice. I think you should be that voice in this. That's what I think. Because I have a Rolex. It does not impress me whatsoever to be even given a Rolex. I've met some of the most incredible business people in the world, and it doesn't impress me to meet someone else that has done really well, because I want to honor them more than I want to be impressed by them. I want to learn from them, So these guys, I never really quite learn anything. They go so quickly through the loan thing that they do. And they really do. They rush through all of those numbers. They're always snarking about the cynicism and, oh, they just like to joke around. And I don't joke around about money. You can see when we're talking about the charts, I get, I'm not looking for cynicism or a joke or anything. I'm trying to make money to do good. Like this Dash trade, you got me fully engulfed in this right now, trying to figure out what's going to happen with this Dash.
Well, it's past 9 marks. I will tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Well, not 9 marks from, oh yeah, okay. But we got let's look at where the breach actually happened now, like on the close. We got a breach on, let me work in. Where did the breach happen? Look at this thing move. Gee whiz almighty. Look at that 1 minute. Yep.
It ain't doing nothing. Look, I mean,
I'm not doing it. It jumped the broom. That's what I call it. Crypto does this all the time. Look at that. It's not giving anybody anything. What did it do in 9? We'll look at 9 bars, like on the 1, and then we'll look at 9 bars on the other time frames. And let's see if we did get a read on anything at all, like a pullback or something. Okay, so we get doji, and we'll take that first doji, even though nothing really happened there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the doji that tried to come back in, 7, 8, 9, another doji underneath, and then everything has been completely underneath since the 8th one. Okay, so that's right there. Everything has been underneath the channel since the 8th. Okay.
What is that candle there with without wicks on either side? What is that? What would just a candle?
Which one? This one right here?
No. Go to your right a little bit more.
This one here.
The big long one that makes the spike up.
Oh, this one here. This is an interesting. This is a bullish hammer, but it's a different. I could probably find in Steve Neeson's work. But this is where the bulls came in, but there was not enough bulls to hold the price up, and then they came in and they kind of corrected that. So, but yeah, it is a hammer. We can find, it would be called a long-legged hammer, and we might be getting some follow through now. I'm not too sure. It's a little funky right there. 1 minute, of course. So what we do is we go long-legged hammer. Let's see what happens. Yeah, we got some images here. And we're looking for one that is down below, right? Where the body is down below. So it's definitely the end of a trend. I could say that much. And let's look. Here we go. It is an inverted hammer. Inverted hammer. Right here.
I'm fixing to steal a page.
An inverted hammer. But we want to look probably a little further and see. Here we have another one. Downtrend for this one, inverted hammer, if it appears during a downtrend. But it really didn't, right? It kind of appeared during, well, no, I guess you could say it did appear during a downtrend. So that's the name of the candle, okay? Now we know, inverted hammer. And then we just go back up.
All that right now.
So and then we look inverted hammer. Yeah, well, your guy does this the same way. I don't know if he does it this slowly, but
no, I love it because he doesn't do it that slowly.
Oh, okay. So downtrend inverted hammer. Here's the inverted hammer coming from a downtrend. It means the end of so it's a bullish reversal. So let's go back to the candle here. There's the candle, and it was a bullish reversal, but, you know, we're talking about 1 candle, 2 candles, then a sell-off. So we're talking about a 1 minute reversal. Oh, we're really getting some activity now. So what time is it? Let's see. We'll go to the 15 minute just to see what's going on. So we are clearly now, we are out of the channel. We have what is called broken the channel. We are broken now. So if he was drawing a triangle and he thought that we were going to be busting up, that has been deflected. If we thought that we were getting a driving wedge in which we were going to follow through on the channel, which looked perfect, right? That is failing us. So once again, the patterns on cryptocurrency are a real problem. And they have been since the beginning of time. That's why that W that I drew yesterday or the night before was just classic. I mean, you can't get any better than that. It was really a great read.
Now you got me looking at another chart. I'm looking at Ripple right now.
XRP, just give it to me. XRP what?
US dollar.
US dollar. And what exchange? Which one?
Bitfinex.
On Bitfinex. Okay, got it. All right. We start from the beginning. We look at it in 1 hour. And we zoom out and we see that once again, you can see it. Obviously, we've made some markings on Ripple. Ripple came out of a base, and we really should have been thinking about taking our profits and sort of waiting for some sort of resolution, because that's kind of the situation on the trade right now. To miss out on that rise and not take profit, that's kind of crazy. But we're interested, and we're looking at going to the 30 minutes so we can get a closer look. There's our top. So what do we get to do? We have a top and we have a low. So we get to grab a Fibonacci. Easy peasy. And we're going to just loosey-goose it from high to low, and we'll drag the Fibonacci all the way over so that we can kind of see where prices wedge.
How far are you? Where do you know where to stop at the bottom?
Well, I just want to see what's going on with real time over here.
Oh, okay.
So you see, I'll move it back if I need to, if things get too dusty looking when I'm reprinting, because you can see how it looks a little dusty, right? The colors are a little dusty now. But I bring it all the way over so that I can kind of see, wow, this thing has really been wedged. It is seriously wedged underneath the halfway mark. So people have lost half, which we talked about before. Prices above the 51 EMA, which is that money still wants to stay in. That's what I call the money line. Money still wants to stay in the trade. We've got 4 candles of downward activity. 4 red candles of downward activity on the 30. Let's get a closer look now on the 15. So do you notice how systematic I'm being?
Right.
Okay, and that's just the discipline of it, okay? Now that I'm a little tighter in, I can see, wow, that was a tweezer top on your bars. Here, I'll move the Fibonacci over. You've got a tweezer top, which is a sign that is a very bearish sign. Bearish. Bears coming in.
Now see, here's where I stand with Ripple.
Yeah.
The other day, I was going to buy when it was like at 55 cents, I think it was, and didn't take the move.
Okay, let's talk about it. Why? Let's look at the 55.
I didn't think it was going to.
Well, let me get your 55.
To be honest.
Okay, well, let's look at it. Well, it did. The 55 is stalled once. 55 is stalled twice. We ledged out again at 55. That's 3 times.
And then we get the break.
And then we get the power move. Right.
But
so
now,
it was ledging.
Everybody, even the guy I was talking to this afternoon, he's like, man, you better get some of that Ripple while it's down low. I said, no, we done missed the train, brother. We missed the train at 55.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So, I mean, and where it stands right now, I mean, which it could move back up, but what theory are we going to go on to determine if it's going to make another move?
That you're looking to stretch for the double top. That you're thinking at XRP that wasn't the last time. You just don't know the pain that you have to endure. That's all. So Ripple really isn't giving anyone a great opportunity to get back in until it falls out of this pattern and comes to what's called the 96, which is that green line right there.
Okay.
Once you start reading about Ruby, know what all the EMAs are. But And then I'd have to go back and actually see, you know, what she's done with the 51 violations here. 51 was tagged here. Maybe people will get in at the 51. But what's happened really since way back here on time at 2000 hours is that the trade is very soured and what some people would call droopy. But, you know, people keep coming in, you know, and buying. Dragonfly Doji, very bearish. Then people come back in on the hammer, which is a reversal sign to get people to buy. Buyers drive it up, but there aren't any buyers to hold on to it, so it loses steam. Now we've got some more candles coming in low. The 12 is
now my question is, why is it stalling at this mark? Because they've had such good news. And
okay. Let's go into the sentiment then. Yeah, good enough. Let me let's go into sentiment, and let's make sure that we do know what the news is. So Ripple news, right?
right.
Where are you getting your news from? So I'll share with you. Are you over at the Telegram?
No.
Okay, so we want to make sure that you're following Cointelegraph, right?
Okay.
And Cointelegraph, which is, are you not on the Twitter? Are they on Facebook? Cointelegraph?
I don't know. I hadn't
So
looked
let's
at
get
them
you on
Facebook.
news. We'll get your news thing going.
I'm gonna make a new Twitter handle. I got a Twitter account, but it's for my drag racing stuff, and I'm sure they don't want to see all my.
Okay, so we're going to talk about news links. This is for the benefit of the UK. News links. News links. Number one, you want to make sure that you've got, and I'll probably have to put this in maybe afterwards, but I follow a Google News feed that actually comes into an Excel sheet on my Google Docs. So you want to, like, just a general Google News feed. And then unfortunately, I have to give you the, you know, the cryptocurrency kind of show guys. Cointelegraph. I'm going to go ahead and let's find that. Cointelegraph. Telegraph.com. And here it is here. And you can do any searches inside of Cointelegraph. But they have a really cool feed over at Telegram because you get it in auto. But once you're over at Twitter, I'm going to show you something that you can do.
You'll have to send me links to all this too.
It'll be in the image. Then there's newsbitcoin.com. But I'm going to show you a little trick. And I think of some of yours. Cointelegraph. I can't think of all the news outlets. There's many of them. BTC Coin or something. There's tons of them.
I'm sorry?
There are tons of news outlets. Many. So on the Ripple, do they have like a Slack or anything? The Ripple?
I don't know.
So where are you getting the news from?
Oh,
Primarily.
from a guy that I talked to this afternoon, and then the guy Snipers too.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. That's interesting. I got to go over there and see what he's got. Then I need to start. I'll watch him, and then I'll be able to kind of put together a little list of news outlets. But I mean, I've done these before on prior videos, trying to share out as much because I use. I'll show you on my YouTube. I use what's called TweetDeck. So once you get your Twitter, make sure you get your TweetDeck up.
He's live right now.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he's live right now.
Okay. Do you want to?
We can stay in here, and if you're going to end your stream, or you want to leave your screen up, or.
Let's see how we should do this. Okay, I think, yeah, because we've been on for several hours. So why don't I go ahead and let me do my outro.
Okay.
And then we can pull up his YouTube and then watch it. Can we watch it in here? Or you can watch it and I can watch it, but we'll still be talking to each other.
Yeah,
right?
we can do it.
Okay, right, that's what we'll do. So let me go over to YouTube and make sure that everything is good, and I'll say that I'm going to go ahead and end. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. And for the replay viewers, the entire chat, its entire contents, as much as I can deliver to you, will be made a full packet over Google Plus and made part of the comment section. Thank you very much. It's been really great. Make sure that you follow each other, follow up with each other, follow up with ideas. My DMs are completely open. And as I'm going to be saying a lot of, if you want a relationship with me, if you really want a relationship with me, put it on the blockchain. Talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye now.